In the eyes of others, Su Yuchen appears to be a delicate little flower, an exemplary wife, and a dedicated worker. In front of the domineering CEO, Su Yuchen is obedient and humble, always hard-working and uncomplaining. However, deep down, his personality is even more domineering than the CEO's. He feels that the CEO is indifferent to him, probably because the CEO is incapable. He has no regard for that white moonlight. If it were not for being forced back then, he would never have allowed others to see him as a stand-in. But fortunately, the new project is about to succeed. Once he gets the funding, he will end this farce and terminate the stand-in contract. But just then, he learns some news: the white moonlight is returning to the country. Su Yuchen becomes instantly alert, but he never expected that on their first meeting, the white moonlight would confess to him. The white moonlight, Pei Su, is also a tough character. He appears to be a high and mighty flower, a perfect nobleman, the white moonlight of the elite circle. In front of him, even the domineering CEO is willing to be a lapdog. However, deep down, he sees the CEO as a thorn in his side. The person he truly loves is Su Yuchen. So he wants to win Su Yuchen back. He has been silently observing Su Yuchen, knowing exactly what he likes and dislikes. He went abroad for further studies and started his own company, all to be able to stand in front of Su Yuchen, to have the qualification to pursue him. Facing Su Yuchen, he worries and kneels to propose. As long as Su Yuchen agrees to leave the CEO, he will take him away immediately. He looks at Su Yuchen tenderly, his beloved person, who has become his stand-in. He must find a way to win him back and then cherish him dearly. As for that CEO, he is a cold, ruthless, and unpredictable person. The domineering CEO, Jiyu Hanzhou, is thinking he was raising a cute and obedient pet. Jiyu Hanzhou's heart was filled with thoughts of Bai Yuguang and Pei Suyu. Su Yuchen had no idea he was about to become cannon fodder. At the Jiyu family villa, Su Yuchen accidentally broke a vase. Jiyu Hanzhou grabbed Su Yuchen by the neck and shoved him backward onto the table. In a cold voice, he told Su Yuchen to recognize his place, that he was just a pet and had no right to touch anything belonging to Pei Suyu. It turned out the vase Su Yuchen broke was a priceless gift from Pei Suyu to the Jiyu family, something Su Yuchen could never afford to replace. Jiyu Hanzhou raised his hand and threw Su Yuchen to the ground. Despite the pain, Su Yuchen dutifully continued to act weak, apologizing to Jiyu Hanzhou and promising it would not happen again. Jiyu Hanzhou, still furious, warned him not to touch Pei Suyu's belongings again. Just then, Jiyu Hanzhou's younger brother, Jiyu Qingzhou, arrived. He knocked on the door and shared some good news. Pei Suyu would be returning to the country tomorrow. Jiyu Hanzhou was instantly excited upon hearing the news and decided to throw a grand banquet in Pei Suyu's honor. Seeing his reaction, Su Yuchen hesitated and tentatively asked what he should do. Jiyu Hanzhou calmed down and realized that with Pei Suyu coming back, Su Yuchen would become the biggest problem. At this point, Jiyu Qingzhou mocked Su Yuchen, sarcastically suggesting that this unwanted guest should pack up and leave. Naturally, Su Yuchen refused to accept this, immediately reminding Jiyu Hanzhou that they had signed a 2-year contract, and it had only been 1 year. Moreover, his mother was still in the hospital receiving treatment, so he could not leave. Jiyu Hanzhou hesitated, thinking that Su Yuchen loved him so much that if he left, he probably would not survive on his own. With this thought, Jiyu Hanzhou closed his eyes and decided that since the 2-year term was not up yet, Su Yuchen could stay. Su Yuchen was overjoyed. However, Jiyu Hanzhou's tone suddenly changed. He made it clear that he did not want Pei Suyu to know about their relationship. Su Yuchen agreed without hesitation. Jiyu Qingzhou could not understand his brother's actions and wondered why he would not let Su Yuchen leave. Jiyu Hanzhou told Su Yu, "I will go with Jiyu Qingzhou to arrange the reception banquet. Su Yuchen will clean up here." After the two left, Su Yuchen's expression changed. He smiled and took out a handkerchief from his pocket, wiping his hands. It was indeed a bit tricky that the white moonlight suddenly returned. Jiyu Hanzhou had coerced and enticed him, paying a huge medical bill to treat his mother, so he signed the promotion contract. For the past year, he had been diligently playing the role of the white moonlight, pretending to love Jiyu Hanzhou with all his heart, fooling everyone. While cleaning, Su Yuchen mocked himself. Accompanying Su Yuyue was indeed like being the most adored flower of the century. How could he, a high and mighty young master, have any resemblance to him? It was simply laughable. His phone rang, and Su Yuchen answered it. The person on the other end told him that his prediction was correct. Many investors favored their project this time, giving them a 60% chance of success. Su Yuchen remained calm. He wanted a 100% success rate and believed the person on the other end could achieve it. That person was Shen Yuan, who laughed. "Little Su always has ambition and courage," Shen Yuan said. He also heard that Su Yuyue was returning and reminded Su Yuchen to be careful in the Jiyu family. After all, he had never heard of the white moonlight treating the promoted well. Su Yuchen told him not to worry, he knew his limits. He also asked Shen Yuan to find more executives to discuss projects instead of focusing on him. Shen Yuan laughed. Soon, it was evening. Su Yuchen brought freshly brewed black tea to Ji Yu Hanzhou, reminding him to take care of his health and not stay up too late, as they had to pick up Su Yuyue tomorrow. Ji Yu Hanzhou looked at Su Yuchen's expression and asked if he was upset about the afternoon's events. Su Yuchen immediately switched to actor mode, adjusting his expression to show he was not upset. Ji Yu Hanzhou laughed, wrapping his arm around Su Yuchen's waist, asking if he had already cried and still claimed not to be upset. He gently apologized to Su Yuchen and reminded him about what to say and what not to say at Su Yuyu's welcome dinner tomorrow. Su Yuchen understands that he is only an assistant at work and nothing more. Su Yuchen nods sadly, acknowledging this. Ji Yu Hanzhou smiles and pats him. Good, as long as you understand. No need to prepare a late-night snack tonight. Get some rest. Su Yuchen turns to leave, touching his chin. Ji Yu Hanzhou is indeed generous and open-handed. He can't afford to give up this stand-in job just yet. Soon, it will be the next day. The next day, Ji Yu Hanzhou is at the airport with a bouquet of flowers. Su Yuyu's flight has landed. Sure enough, the next second, he sees Su Yuyue. Ji Yu Hanzhou's eyes light up, and he raises his hand to greet Su Yuyue. The people around exclaim in surprise. Su Yuyue is so beautiful, almost unreal. Su Yuyue smiles and greets Ji Yu Hanzhou. Ji Yu Hanzhou happily hands the bouquet to Su Yuyue, welcoming him back to the country and informing him that a welcome dinner has been prepared in his honor. Su Yuyue looks Ji Yu Hanzhou up and down, making Ji Yu Hanzhou's heart skip a beat. Su Yuyu's eyes have never held anyone else, but now, they are so focused on him. He feels he should be happy, but for some reason, he feels a bit uneasy. So he asks Su Yuyue what is going on, wondering if he has done something inappropriate today. Su Yuyue shakes his head, saying he just has not seen Ji Yu Hanzhou in a long time and is taking a good look. Su Yuyue has almost completed his studies abroad and now wants to develop his career back home. He tells Ji Yu Hanzhou that this time, he has come back specifically for him. Ji Yu Hanzhou's heart races. Is Su Yuyue hinting at something? Has Su Yuyue finally decided to accept him? But before he can finish his thoughts, Su Yuyue straightforwardly asks if he is welcome back. Ji Yu Hanzhou becomes flustered, saying of course he is welcome and it is an honor. Su Yuyue asks him to open the car door, and Ji Yu Hanzhou obliges. Su Yuyue thanks him with a smile, saying he is looking forward to the welcome dinner tonight. The two get into the car and start driving. Out of Ji Yu Hanzhou's sight, Su Yuyu's expression turns gloomy. Meanwhile, many people have already arrived at the welcome dinner. They are discussing Su Yuchen, having heard that he resembles Su Yuyue a bit. They believe Ji Yu Hanzhou chose him because of this. Su Yuchen's left eye has a red spot just like Pei Suyu's, and his smile resembles Pei Suyu's when he was young. However, some people believe that no matter what, an imitation is just an imitation, and Su Yuchen can't compare to Pei Suyue. Su Yuchen does not care about what they say. He looked around, marveling at the grand scene, thinking that Ji Yu Hanzhou's white moonlight indeed deserved such a spectacle. Just then, Ji Yu Qingzhou found Su Yuchen and told him that Ji Yu Hanzhou had just called, saying he had already picked up Pei Suyue. Ji Yu Qingzhou warned Su Yuchen to remember that Pei Suyue is the one his older brother Ji Yu Hanzhou truly loves. Su Yuchen is just a petty thief clinging to scraps, so he would better behave and not say anything inappropriate in front of Pei Suyue. Su Yuchen was speechless. He did not need Ji Yu Qingzhou's reminder. He understood and would not cause trouble for Ji Yu Hanzhou. Seeing his attitude, Ji Yu Qingzhou snorted, thinking it was good that he understood. Su Yuchen was speechless at his tone. Ji Yu Qingzhou, this arrogant young master, was really too childish. Even though he was already 18 and an adult, he still acted like a child. Suddenly, the crowd cheered, announcing that young master Pei Suyue had arrived. After so long, Pei Suyue had become even more handsome. Everyone enthusiastically asked about his studies abroad, and some expressed how much they missed him, saying they had been longing for his return. Su Yuchen stood at the back of the crowd, calmly observing Ji Yu Hanzhou's unforgettable white moonlight. Ji Yu Qingzhou stood beside him, softly reminding him that Pei Suyue was the one who should be standing next to Ji Yu Hanzhou. Even though Su Yuchen loved Ji Yu Hanzhou deeply and imitated Pei Suyu's every move, Ji Yu Hanzhou had never touched Su Yuchen. Ji Yu Qingzhou asked Su Yuchen if he knew why. Su Yuchen quickly played along with his act, lazily thinking to himself, what else could it be? Could it be that Ji Yu Hanzhou is impotent? Ji Yu Qingzhou, unaware of his thoughts, leaned in and told him that it was because he was just an imitation and unworthy. Meanwhile, Pei Suyue was greeting everyone. Suddenly, he became nervous. Ji Yu Hanzhou, not understanding, asked if he was hot and why he was sweating. Pei Suyue casually admitted it and took a step back. The crowd watched with admiration, thinking that Pei Suyue and Ji Yu Hanzhou were a perfect match. Moreover, Ji Yu Hanzhou had been waiting for Pei Suyue for a long time. It has been years. When are they planning to get together? Pei Suyue smiled and waved her hand, saying she had no intention of dating for now. Ji Yu Hanzhou also expressed that he was willing to wait for her. At this moment, someone maliciously told Pei Suyue that maybe she should meet someone else, implying that this person was overestimating themselves. Hearing those idioms, Dong Shi laughed and commented, "What nonsense." So, as soon as Chen heard it, he knew they were talking about him. He turned to leave, but unexpectedly, the other person called out to him and asked if he, as Gu's assistant, had prepared a gift for the young master of the Pei family, who had just returned to the country. Otherwise, it would seem too inconsiderate. Su Yuchen sighed lightly. What you fear always comes true. It was time to test his acting skills again. Earning this paycheck was truly not easy. He quickly adjusted his expression, got into character, turned around, and looked at Ji Yu Hanzhou. But Ji Yu Qingzhou was not going to let him off the hook, excitedly introducing Su Yuchen to Pei Suyue and informing her that Su Yuchen was now living at the Ji Yu residence. Su Yuchen furrowed his brows and greeted Pei Suyue. Pei Suyue was so nervous that she quickly wiped the sweat off her hands on her clothes before shaking hands with Su Yuchen, smiling as she introduced herself. Su Yuchen was momentarily stunned. He noticed that Pei Suyu's hand was trembling. He even felt her touch him briefly. Su Yuchen could not figure it out, while Pei Suyue nervously withdrew her hand. Su Yuchen sighed, thinking, whatever, as long as Ji Yu Hanzhou does not decide to end this act, I will keep playing along. After all, his company still needed this paycheck to keep the cash flow going. Just then, Ji Yu Hanzhou told Su Yuchen that he had left some documents at the office and asked him to retrieve them. Su Yuchen furrowed his brows, wanting to refuse, but noticed Ji Yu Hanzhou glaring at him. He had no choice but to agree and turned to leave. Internally, he was secretly pleased, thinking that today's performance was over, and soon he could reward himself with 3 pounds of crayfish. Just as he was about to leave, Pei Suyue called out to him. It turned out that Pei Suyue believed that today was his welcome back party, so he hoped everyone could be more friendly and that no one would leave early. Pei Suyue turned to Ji Yu Hanzhou and asked if that was okay. Ji Yu Hanzhou immediately agreed, feeling quite delighted. Pei Suyue had never spoken to him in such a tone before. Since returning to the country this time, Pei Suyu's attitude has softened a lot. He can even feel Pei Suyu's regard for him. Given this, Ji Yu Hanzhou told Su Yuchen not to fetch the documents and to stay instead. He also informed everyone that no one could leave early today. People whispered among themselves, thinking Pei Suyue was truly beautiful and kind-hearted, treating even the lower staff so gently. Suddenly, someone realized, does Pei Suyue know who Su Yuchen is? Su Yuchen was also full of doubts. He did not know why Pei Suyue wanted him to stay. Was it to humiliate him in front of everyone? But he still convincingly agreed to stay. Ji Yu Hanzhou frowned and reminded him to do his part well at the banquet and not to embarrass himself. Su Yuchen smiled and told the two of them that he would return to his seat first. As he turned and left, Pei Suyue frowned and looked at Ji Yu Hanzhou. Ji Yu Hanzhou was puzzled, not knowing why Pei Suyue kept staring at him. Pei Suyue suddenly asked him if he was still the same Ji Yu Hanzhou from back then, who had not changed his heart. Ji Yu Hanzhou panicked and sighed, thinking Pei Suyue was confirming his feelings. He expressed his feelings, saying he was still the same as before, always waiting for Pei Suyue with no one else by his side. Pei Suyue nodded, understanding. The two walked forward, and people around asked Pei Suyue how Peishi Enterprises was developing so well abroad, and why he suddenly thought of returning to the country. Pei Suyue replied indifferently that the company's affairs were handled by his father, so he was not needed much. He returned because he missed the domestic environment and wanted to develop in the country. Someone else asked Pei Suyue if he had decided on a place to stay after returning this time. Pei Suyue nodded, saying he planned to return to the old Pei family residence. Ji Yu Hanzhou was quite worried, fearing that everyone's excessive enthusiasm would tire Pei Suyue. Pei Suyue shook his head, and Ji Yu Hanzhou felt relieved. Pei Suyue paused, and tentatively asked Ji Yu Hanzhou if he cared a lot about Su Yuchen. How could Ji Yu Hanzhou admit it? He told Pei Suyue that Su Yuchen was just his assistant and not to overthink it. The most important person in his heart was, of course, Pei Suyue. Pei Suyue laughed, saying that was good. Meanwhile, in another corner of the banquet, Su Yuchen was messaging someone. The other person told him that if it were not for their Yunxing group being invited to this banquet, he would not have had the chance to see Su Yuchen's acting in person. He sighed, saying it was a pity Su Yuchen did not become an actor. Fortunately, Su Yuchen was just putting on a show. Otherwise, he would worry that Su Yuchen really liked that guy Ji Yu Hanzhou. Su Yuchen was stunned, realizing the person had arrived early. The other person smiled and told him to look back. Su Yuchen turned around and saw the person sitting at another table. It was Shen Yuan, the vice president of Yunsheng Group and Su Yuchen's partner. Shen Yuan was messaging Su Yuchen while sneering, thinking Pei Suyue was a total green tea. The smell can be detected from far away. He thought that accompanying Su Yuyue back to the country this time was a sure win for Jiyu Hanzhou. The examiner was really worried about Su Yuchen, but Su Yuchen reassured him, saying he could handle it. Su Yuchen sighed, realizing that leaving work early to eat lobster was out of the question. So, he could only eat more cake to fill up. Suddenly, he heard the sound of a camera shutter. Su Yuchen turned his head cautiously and was surprised to find Pei Suyue secretly taking pictures of him. Su Yuchen frowned speechlessly. Secretly photographing a rival or a stand-in, what kind of operation is this? Moreover, his eating manner just now was so ugly. Could it be that Pei Suyue wanted to take embarrassing photos to threaten him, while he was still confused? He suddenly noticed that cake had gotten on his clothes. He stood up, intending to go to the restroom. Seeing this, Pei Suyue turned and instructed Jiyu Hanzhou to watch over Binky for her while she also went to the restroom. Jiyu Hanzhou readily agreed. Soon, Su Yuchen arrived at the restroom and was wiping his clothes when he suddenly heard the sound of the door lock clicking. Then, someone called out to him, "Susu." Su Yuchen turned around and saw that it was Pei Suyue. Pei Suyu's expression was gentle. He finally had the chance to be alone with Su Yuchen. Su Yuchen frowned. Why was Pei Suyue calling him that? Why would this white moonlight want to be alone with him? Could it be that he had discovered Su Yuchen's relationship with Jiyu Hanzhou and came to warn him? In an instant, countless thoughts raced through Su Yuchen's mind. Pei Suyue seemed upset. He approached slowly and said with grievance that Su Yuchen really did not remember him at all. Su Yuchen was confused. Had he met Pei Suyue before? Pei Suyue then smiled again and said it did not matter if Su Yuchen did not remember, he remembered him, and that was enough. Su Yuchen did not understand at all. Although Jiyu Hanzhou had mentioned that he and Pei Suyue were classmates in high school, Su Yuchen had no impression of Pei Suyue whatsoever. But then he noticed Pei Suyu's pitiful expression, which was just like a stray dog abandoned on the street. Su Yuchen frowned, wanting to know why Pei Suyue was looking for him. Pei Suyue asked sadly if Su Yuchen really liked Jiyu Hanzhou. Su Yuchen silently. Hey, so this little brat was waiting for me here. Rivals meeting, no wonder he is so angry. Trying to give me a hard time, but I have been acting for a year, it is not for nothing. Su Yuchen reminded himself to maintain his humble persona as a substitute lover. He expressed his grievance, saying he is just Jiyu Hanzhou's assistant, and they have no relationship. He told Su Yuishan not to overthink. Su Yuishan bit his hand and explained that he did not mean it that way. Su Yuchen frowned. Then why did he come looking for him? Was he bored? Su Yuishan explained that he knew everything about them, including when Su Yuchen moved into the Jiyu family and their agreement, and how Su Yuchen was treated there. Su Yuchen was shocked. How did Su Yuishan know everything? So, Su Yuishan had been monitoring them from abroad all this time. Su Yuishan was really persistent about this scumbag Jiyu Hanzhou. Su Yuchen tried to break free, telling Su Yuishan to let him go. Su Yuishan stepped closer, blocking him, and told him not to leave. Su Yuishan was also very sad. Did Su Yuchen really like Jiyu Hanzhou that much? Su Yuchen was stunned. This white moonlight was supposed to be cold and aloof, but he seemed different. However, he could not admit it, so he nodded convincingly. Yes, he loved Jiyu Hanzhou very much. Su Yuishan's face immediately darkened. Su Yuchen patted his shoulder, telling him not to be sad. Jiyu Hanzhou's heart always had a place for him. Su Yuchen prepared to leave, relieved to finally be free. But Su Yuishan suddenly grabbed him and hugged him tightly. Jiyu Hanzhou was not good to Su Yuchen. Not only was he fierce, but he also did not cherish Su Yuchen at all. Therefore, Jiyu Hanzhou did not deserve Su Yuchen's feelings. Su Yuishan asked Su Yuchen, how could Jiyu Hanzhou, who was two-timing, be worthy of Su Yuchen's love? Su Yuchen was shocked and did not know how to respond. Was Su Yuishan crazy? Could this be some kind of tactic? Su Yuishan continued to tell Su Yuchen that Jiyu Hanzhou was really not good and did not deserve his love. If he were the one by Su Yuchen's side, he would cherish him immensely, never letting him suffer any grievances, and would always be with him. Su Yuchen pushed Su Yuishan away, thinking that Su Yuishan must have mistaken his target. He retreated cautiously, wondering what Su Yuishan's purpose was. Why not just say it directly instead of playing mind games? Su Yuishan took a step forward, and Su Yuchen took a step back. He lost his footing and almost fell over a mop. Su Yuishan panicked and rushed to catch him, and they both fell into the kitchen. Su Yuishan landed on top of Su Yuchen. Su Yuchen squatted down, and being so close, he could smell the faint, cool fragrance on Su Yuishan. Just as the door closed with a click, Su Yuchen heard the sound of the main door opening again. He knew someone else had come in. The alliance softly reminded Pei Suyue to get up quickly. Someone approached and curiously asked everyone if they had heard any noise inside. Pei Suyue raised his hand and rubbed Su Yuchen, telling him not to be afraid. Outside the door, Lu Mingchen did not care at all, thinking Zhao Qigan had misheard. He did not want to waste any more time. He was still thinking about going back to laugh at Su Yuchen. Inside, Su Yuchen recognized that Lu Mingchen was the one among the Fu family young masters who disliked him the most, often inciting his group of friends to bully him. Outside the door, Lu Mingchen was still discussing with Zhao Qigan, thinking that today's show was truly spectacular. He wanted to laugh at Su Yuchen's ashamed and humiliated appearance. Moreover, Pei Suyue was noble and distinguished, incomparable to someone like Su Yuchen, who was just a lowly substitute. If it were not for Su Yuchen's face, he would not have had the right to attend Pei Suyu's banquet today. They believed Su Yuchen was not even worthy of carrying Pei Suyu's shoes. Inside, Pei Suyue raised his hand and rubbed Su Yuchen's ear, telling him not to listen. Su Yuchen blushed, completely unable to understand what Pei Suyue wanted to do. Outside the door, Lu Mingchen and the others finally decided to leave. As the door closed with a bang, Su Yuchen let out a sigh of relief and suddenly pushed Pei Suyue away. Pei Suyue was startled. Pei Suyue told him not to leave. Su Yuchen shook off his hand, warily asking him to speak directly. Pei Suyue took something out of his pocket and gave it to Su Yuchen, expressing that he had liked him for a very long time. Pei Suyue had been silently paying attention to Su Yuchen. He knew exactly what Su Yuchen liked and disliked. Pei Suyue went abroad to further his studies and started his own company, all to be able to stand in front of Su Yuchen and have the qualifications to pursue him. This time, he returned not for Jiyu Hanzhou but for Su Yuchen. Someone like Jiyu Hanzhou did not deserve Su Yuchen. If Su Yuchen was willing, he could immediately take him away from the Jiyu family. He asked Su Yuchen if that was okay. Su Yuchen was conflicted, doubting the authenticity of Pei Suyu's words. It was very likely that he was trying to deceive him and break down his psychological defenses. Moreover, his agreement with Jiyu Hanzhou was still in effect. He had basic professional ethics and could not mess things up. It was his principle. So he concluded that even if he had to pretend, he would pretend to love Jiyu Hanzhou with all his heart. He decisively spoke, saying he was sorry, but the person he loved was Jiyu Hanzhou. He would pretend today's events never happened and asked Pei Suyue not to mention it again. If you tell Jiyu Hanzhou about this, he will definitely be heartbroken. After saying this, Su Yuchen turned around and prepared to leave. Pei Suyu's hand slowly dropped, frowning as she wondered if Su Yuchen only loved Jiyu Hanzhou. Not long after, Jiyu Hanzhou found Pei Suyue, who had just come out, and asked why he took so long. Was he feeling unwell? Pei Suyue shook his head and made an excuse that he would go back to the Pei family mansion after the banquet. He said it was too lonely living there by himself. Jiyu Hanzhou laughed and said it was no big deal. He invited Pei Suyue to stay at the Jiyu family home. He and Jiyu Qingzhou were both there, and Jiyu Qingzhou's friends would also come over, making it very lively. Pei Suyue pretended to hesitate, asking if he would be disturbing them. Jiyu Hanzhou broke into a cold sweat. He thought of Su Yuchen but still agreed, saying that Pei Suyue would not be a guest at the Jiyu family home but a host. Pei Suyue could come and stay whenever he wanted and for however long he wished. Pei Suyue smiled with hidden intentions, thanking Jiyu Hanzhou and saying he would repay him well. He was grateful to Jiyu Hanzhou for giving him the opportunity to get close to Su Yuchen. Jiyu Hanzhou thought he must be crazy. Why did he suddenly think of Su Yuchen? Su Yuchen was just a stand-in for Pei Suyue. When Su Yuchen first came to the Jiyu family, he was lively and spirited, not the timid person he was now. But as they spent more time together, Su Yuchen gradually changed. He became obedient and submissive, which made Jiyu Hanzhou lose interest, finding it dull and regrettable. Not long after, Jiyu Hanzhou found Su Yuchen and asked where he had been. Su Yuchen explained that he had just gone to the bathroom. Jiyu Hanzhou did not care and told him to clean up the master bedroom on the third floor tonight because Pei Suyue would be staying there regularly. Su Yuchen was shocked, and seeing his expression, Jiyu Hanzhou questioned if he was unwilling. Su Yuchen felt very conflicted. What was going on? That strange person Pei Suyue was actually going to move into the Jiyu family home. Su Yuchen pitifully asked Jiyu Hanzhou if he could not let Pei Suyue move in. Jiyu Hanzhou bluntly stated that it was not Su Yuchen's home, so he had no right to negotiate. Moreover, Jiyu Hanzhou was indeed worried about letting Pei Suyue live alone. Su Yuchen frowned, thinking Jiyu Hanzhou was really something. How could he dare to let his true love move in without first ending the agreement with his stand-in? Wasn't he afraid of things going wrong? He turned his head to warn him that during the time Su Yuyue stays at the Jiyu family, Su Yuchen must stick to his duties and do his job as an assistant properly. He should not say anything inappropriate in front of Su Yuyue, or the consequences will be severe. Su Yuchen reluctantly agreed. After serving this guy for a year, he felt like he was nothing. Suddenly, Su Yuchen's WeChat chimed. Shen Yuan was worried about his situation. Su Yuchen told Shen Yuan what had just happened. Shen Yuan also felt that the visitor had ill intentions and advised Su Yuchen to be careful. However, Su Yuchen had already fully realized that Su Yuyue was indeed sick. Su Yuyue moved into the Jiyu family home, greeted Su Yuchen with a smile, and asked in front of Jiyu Hanzhou if he could call him Susu. What could Su Yuchen say? He could only agree. Jiyu Hanzhou was still on the side, telling Su Yuyue to let him know if he needed anything, and he would have the butler arrange it. Su Yuyue directly refused because what he wanted most was already in the Jiyu family. Late at night, in the Jiyu family villa, Su Yuchen told Jiyu Hanzhou that the master bedroom on the third floor was ready. If there was nothing else, he would go back to his room and not disturb them. Jiyu Hanzhou agreed and pulled Su Yuyue, wanting to show him his bedroom. Su Yuyue was unmoved, and only after Jiyu Hanzhou called him again did they start walking. Another person found it very strange and asked Jiyu Qingzhou why Jiyu Hanzhou had not kicked Su Yuchen out yet. Jiyu Qingzhou closed his eyes and said that Su Yuchen was clinging to the Jiyu family like sticky candy and could not be shaken off. Jiyu Hanzhou felt sorry for him, so he let him stay. The person sneered and thought of a way. They went upstairs and saw the surroundings, marveling at how much Jiyu Hanzhou cared for Su Yuyue. Everything was prepared meticulously. They were even more convinced that Su Yuyue was the most important person in Jiyu Hanzhou's heart. Jiyu Qingzhou smiled and said, "Who else but Su Yuyue could have such a grand setup?" Jiyu Hanzhou also smiled with satisfaction. He had put aside his work to prepare so much for Su Yuyu's return to the country. He did not know if Su Yuyue would like it, but he realized that Su Yuyue was not there. Some guessed that Pei Suyue might have gone to the bathroom. Meanwhile, in Su Yuchen's bedroom, he was changing clothes when he suddenly heard the door. He turned his head in surprise and saw Pei Suyue walking over. Su Yuchen was startled. Why was not Pei Suyue checking out his new bedroom and instead came here? Pei Suyue made an excuse, saying he just wanted to see where Su Yuchen lived and would not bother him. Besides, if Su Yuchen was not here, why would he come to the Jiyu family? Su Yuchen was speechless. Pei Suyue went to great lengths to stay at the Jiyu family just for him. Pei Suyue told Su Yuchen that it was Jiyu Hanzhou who suggested he move in. How could he dare to act without knowing Su Yuchen's wishes? Moreover, if Jiyu Hanzhou truly cared about Su Yuchen, why would he propose something that would hurt him? However, he was also grateful to Jiyu Hanzhou for giving him the chance to get close to Su Yuchen. Su Yuchen knew in his heart that Pei Suyue was right. Someone as selfish as Jiyu Hanzhou would not care about a little lover kept by his side. He did not feel hurt by playing along for money, but from an outsider's perspective, it did seem like Jiyu Hanzhou was humiliating someone who loved him deeply. Pei Suyue seemed to genuinely consider things from her perspective. She did not know how to respond to that. Just then, Jiyu Hanzhou walked over and asked why Pei Suyue was there. Was he lost? Pei Suyue pretended he was just checking out Su Yuchen's place so they could look out for each other in the future. Zhao Qigan scoffed, saying there was nothing worth seeing in Su Yuchen's place. He warned Pei Suyue to be careful not to catch Su Yuchen's bad luck. Pei Suyue immediately restrained his smile, saying he was a very lucky person and was not afraid of that. Su Yuchen smiled and reminded everyone that they were all tired and should go rest. Zhao Qigan was displeased but was stopped by Lu Mingchen. Jiyu Hanzhou also spoke up, telling everyone to go to sleep. As Pei Suyue watched them leave, Jiyu Hanzhou suddenly stepped forward. He questioned Su Yuchen, asking if he had said anything inappropriate in front of Pei Suyue. Su Yuchen repeatedly assured him, but Jiyu Hanzhou grabbed his chin, warning him not to cause trouble. Su Yuchen agreed reluctantly. Seeing him like this, Jiyu Hanzhou felt he was like a rose with its thorns removed. Su Yuchen wanted to leave, using the excuse of needing to go to the bathroom. He looked at Jiyu Hanzhou with a strange expression. Jiyu Hanzhou reluctantly let him go. Su Yuchen quickly left, thinking that although Pei Suyue had already returned, Su Yuchen, this little toy to pass the time, was not something he wanted to let go of just yet. After a while, seeing Jiyu Hanzhou go upstairs, Pei Suyue breathed a sigh of relief. He finally left. As night deepened, Su Yuchen was sound asleep in bed, completely unaware that Pei Suyue had sneaked in and was touching him. Pei Suyue thought Su Yuchen had always been very good-looking, but he always pretended to be humble and obedient to avoid attention. However, he knew how dazzling the real Su Yuchen was. Long ago, when Su Yuchen was still a student, he was already this dazzling. Su Yuchen felt someone touching him and groggily woke up. As soon as he opened his eyes, he saw Pei Suyue pressing down on him. Startled, Su Yuchen kicked him off and quickly turned on the light. Pei Suyue feigned innocence, telling Su Yuchen that he liked him too much and could not help but stay with him. Su Yuchen was not moved at all. He had already said he did not remember Pei Suyue and did not trust him. He told Pei Suyue to stop bothering him. Pei Suyue, however, thought that since Su Yuchen did not want to leave the Jiyu family, he would stay with him. He wanted to hug Su Yuchen but was directly rejected. Despite Su Yuchen's resistance, he was still hugged tightly. Su Yuchen slapped him, telling him not to go too far. Pei Suyue saw Su Yuchen's pajama strap slip off his shoulder and silently swallowed. He gradually moved closer, brushing against Su Yuchen's fingers, even sticking out his tongue to lick them, asking if Su Yuchen's hand hurt from slapping him. Su Yuchen was speechless. Was Pei Suyue a dog, liking to lick other people's fingers? Pei Suyue readily admitted it. Su Yuchen pushed him away in disbelief, telling him not to use such disgusting tricks. His gaze was fixed on himself. He would not fall for it. Pei Suyue wanted to sleep with Su Yuchen at night. He could return before Jiyu Hanzhou woke up and no one would find out. But Su Yuchen reminded him of his relationship with Jiyu Hanzhou. However, he did not care at all. He could wait for Su Yuchen forever, just for a little bit of love once Su Yuchen no longer liked Jiyu Hanzhou. Su Yuchen frowned. He had never had any interaction with Pei Suyue. When did Pei Suyue start targeting him? He directly rejected Pei Suyue, telling him to give up early. However, Pei Suyue was persistent. If Su Yuchen did not let him on the bed, he would sleep under it. Just watching Su Yuchen sleep without disturbing him. Pei Suyue asked Su Yuchen not to drive him away. He had no one close here. Su Yuchen sighed helplessly. He could stay, but there were 4 conditions. First, Jiyu Hanzhou or anyone else could not know about this. Second, without his permission, Pei Suyue could not get on the bed. Third, without permission, he could not touch him. Fourth, he could not lick him. Pei Suyue agreed completely. Su Yuchen felt he really could not stand Pei Suyu's gaze. He wondered what kind of person he had attracted. But now, he did not want to drag it out. He lay down directly to sleep but could not fall asleep at all. Opening his eyes, he saw Pei Suyue staring at him. Su Yuchen turned over in annoyance, but still could not sleep. He suddenly lifted the blanket, feeling fed up. He told Pei Suyue to stop staring at him and go sleep on the floor. Pei Suyue agreed cheerfully and happily lay on the floor to sleep. Early the next morning, Pei Suyue woke up, sat up, and saw Su Yuchen still sleeping. He quietly stood up, covered Su Yuchen with the blanket, touched Su Yuchen's cheek, kissed him, and wished him good morning. After Su Yuchen woke up, he found that Pei Suyue had already left. Su Yuchen has a habit of kicking off the blanket, so he always wakes up cold in the morning. But today was different. He guessed that Pei Suyue had covered him with the blanket. Su Yuchen saw something on the bedside table and knew it was the gift Pei Suyue had wanted to give him last time. He picked it up and looked at the note, wondering what Pei Suyue wanted from him. After a while, he went downstairs and saw Pei Suyue carrying breakfast. Pei Suyue smiled and greeted him with a good morning. Su Yuchen was stunned for a moment. Had Pei Suyue really made breakfast for everyone? Pei Suyue laughed and said. These breakfasts were all prepared by Su Yuchen, who got up early and worked hard. Pei Suyue took off her apron and moved closer to Su Yuchen, saying that only his breakfast was specially made by her. When everyone woke up and started eating, they praised the steak, saying it was really delicious and tasted like it came from a 5-star hotel. Jiyu Hanzhou questioned Su Yuchen, asking why today's breakfast was different from usual and told him to redo it. Everyone fell silent for a moment. Pei Suyue stood up and said that everyone's breakfast was made by Su Yuchen, except for Jiyu Hanzhou's, which was made by her. She asked if Jiyu Hanzhou was dissatisfied with her. The atmosphere became subtle. Everyone realized that since Pei Suyue made it herself, it must be even more delicious. Jiyu Qingzhou felt that Jiyu Hanzhou was really lucky. Others also praised Jiyu Hanzhou's breakfast, saying it was perfect in color, aroma, and taste, just like a professional chef's. Su Yuchen could not hold back and spat out a mouthful of water. Jiyu Hanzhou scolded him, asking what was so funny. Su Yuchen quickly denied it and turned away. To others, Su Yuchen seemed to be trembling with fear, but in reality, he was struggling to hold back his laughter. Lu Mingchen saw this and, mocking Su Yuchen for being shameless, staying at the Jiyu family even though the host has returned. Isn't he afraid of being humiliated? He should know that an ugly duckling can never turn into a swan. At this moment, Jiyu Hanzhou forcefully put down the ginseng in his hand. He asked everyone to say a few words and enjoy their meal. Su Yuchen was eating steak, which surprisingly suited his taste perfectly. Could it be that Pei Suyue had deliberately learned about his preferences? When Su Yuchen glanced over, Pei Suyue decisively gave him a wink. Not long after, the group started discussing plans to visit Rose Valley with Pei Suyue. Some believed that the place was mostly for couples, and they wanted to know where Pei Suyue wanted to go. At that moment, Jiyu Hanzhou received a call. The company was under attack from an unknown force, and the stock market was facing a risk of hitting the limit down. Jiyu Hanzhou immediately got up, preparing to leave, and told everyone to take good care of Pei Suyue. Jiyu Qingzhou promised to ask Pei Suyue where he wanted to go and said they could accompany him. Pei Suyue immediately declined, pretending his stomach was feeling unwell and saying he wanted to rest at home for a while. He told them to go ahead without him. The group asked if he needed to go to the hospital, but Pei Suyue waved them off with a smile, saying it was an old issue. He reassured them that he would be fine after taking some stomach medicine and told them not to worry, urging them to go out and enjoy themselves. The group agreed and prepared to leave, telling him to call them anytime if he wanted to join. Watching their backs as they left, Pei Suyue frowned deeply. Su Yuchen actually had to serve these useless people every day. As he was thinking this, Su Yuchen stood up and sneered, saying Pei Suyu's acting skills were top-notch. It was a pity he had not pursued a career as an actor. Seeing Su Yuchen packing up his things, Pei Suyue immediately rushed over to help him. He took the plate from Su Yuchen's hands and seriously told Su Yuchen that there was no need to work so hard on these things. Ji Hanzhou showed no kindness to Su Yuchen at all. Su Yuchen sat down coldly, saying none of this had anything to do with Pei Suyue. It was his responsibility to the company. Pei Suyue, however, disagreed, saying Su Yuchen's matters were his matters too. He asked. Su Yuchen was repeatedly insulted by Lu Mingchen among those people. Someone asked if he needed help dealing with Lu Mingchen, but Su Yuchen firmly refused. Pei Suyu's ability to change her expression was faster than changing clothes. He reminded Pei Suyue that he disliked people who acted on their own. Pei Suyue nodded and agreed. Su Yuchen thought for a moment and asked her to wash the dishes. Pei Suyue happily agreed. Su Yuchen then ordered her to do something else, and Pei Suyue complied as well. Su Yuchen felt conflicted. The person everyone regarded as an untouchable goddess was now at his beck and call. This feeling was truly peculiar. Thinking back to the past, at that time, Ji Hanzhou coldly told her not to cry with that face. It was too pathetic. Pei Suyue would never do something like that. Lu Mingchen and the others believed that Pei Suyue was the true, high-class beauty, while someone like Su Yuchen, upon seeing Pei Suyue, would only wish to dig a hole and hide. Thinking of this, his face, Su Yuchen sneered. The so-called high-class beauty in their eyes was now eagerly acting like his dog. Pei Suyue asked if she would get a reward for completing all the tasks Su Yuchen assigned. Su Yuchen just smiled, patted her head, and praised her for being obedient. He leaned down and asked what kind of reward she wanted. Pei Suyue said she wanted to kiss Su Yuchen. Su Yuchen firmly refused. He had to admit, Pei Suyu's acting skills were almost on par with his own. After all, Su Yuchen had always walked on thin ice. How could he be deceived by such a small act of tenderness? He turned his head away, refusing to believe a single word Pei Suyue said. He also told her not to look at him with those eyes anymore. It was extremely disgusting. Suddenly, Pei Suyue grabbed Su Yuchen's wrist and pinned him down. Su Yuchen was startled and struggled, telling her to let go, but Pei Suyue bit Su Yuchen, asking if he could stop hating her. Su Yuchen, unable to bear it any longer, slapped her with a loud smack and demanded to know what exactly she wanted. Pei Suyue replied that as long as Su Yuchen does not hate himself, he can do anything to himself. Su Yuchen was furious and told Pei Suyue that if he was crazy, he should get treatment instead of acting insane here. Pei Suyue shook his head. Su Yuchen really is so tempting. Su Yuchen's face turned red with anger. He shoved him away and cursed him as a pervert. At that moment, Ji Yuqingzhou and the others arrived, worried about what might have caused such a commotion. Why was there such a loud noise? Ji Yuqingzhou started to ponder. With such a big commotion just now, and Pei Suyue not letting anyone else in, could it be that something happened? Su Yuchen laughed awkwardly and told him it was nothing, that he accidentally knocked something over while doing housework. Pei Suyue also said there was nothing wrong, and that everything was fine between them. But Ji Yuqingzhou did not believe it at all. The atmosphere was too strange. How could nothing have happened? Could it be that Pei Suyue was hit by Su Yuchen and did not dare to say anything? Su Yuchen used the excuse that he was not feeling well and wanted to go back to rest, then turned around to leave. Pei Suyue found it strange. Wasn't Ji Yuqingzhou playing outside? Why was he back now? Ji Yuqingzhou waved his hand dismissively, saying that he was called back by the family after the other two left midway. He asked Pei Suyue if he was okay. Pei Suyue smiled and said, of course, he was fine. Moving into the Ji family was something he had always wanted. Meanwhile, in the room, Su Yuchen looked at himself in the mirror. Luckily, it was just a red mark. And there was no bleeding. He decided to just treat it as being bitten by a dog. Although this little mutt's bite really hurt. He was very puzzled. How could Pei Suyue, everyone's so-called white moonlight, fall for an assistant of the Ji family? It must be for Ji Hanzhou's money, using him as part of some scheme. But the methods Pei Suyue used were just too bizarre. Late at night, Pei Suyue opened Su Yuchen's door again. Su Yuchen was speechless. What was wrong with Pei Suyue? Ji Hanzhou had prepared the most luxurious master bedroom for him, yet he would not sleep there. He comes over every day to sleep on the floor, keeping Su Yuyue company. He obediently sets up his bedding, saying that no place is as comfortable as the doghouse Su Yuchen gave him. Su Yuchen is speechless and thinks it is better to just let it go. The more he tries to manage Su Yuyue, the more energetic he becomes, so he might as well just sleep. Su Yuyue smiles and secretly whispers good night to him. Su Yuchen warns him not to sneak into bed while he is asleep. Su Yuyue obediently raises his hand, using a visual trick to pretend he is stroking Su Yuchen. The next morning, Ji Yu Hanzhou returns. Su Yuchen greets him, but Ji Yu Hanzhou slaps him. He questions him, asking if this is how he takes care of Su Yuyue. Ji Yu Qingzhou and Su Yuyue both witness this scene. Ji Yu Hanzhou mercilessly drags Su Yuchen outside. Su Yuyu's hand gradually tightens on the armrest. On the other side, Ji Yu Hanzhou forcefully pushes Su Yuchen against the wall, coldly reprimanding him, asking when he will recognize his place. He tells him not to think that his despicable actions go unnoticed. Su Yuchen feigns innocence, asking Ji Yu Hanzhou what he did wrong. Ji Yu Hanzhou sneers. He still does not know. Su Yuchen is so bold to dare to lay a hand on Su Yuyue. Is he extremely jealous of Su Yuyu's return? Ji Yu Hanzhou tells Su Yuchen to remember that as long as Su Yuyue is around, he will never measure up to him. Ji Yu Hanzhou demands that Su Yuchen immediately apologize to Su Yuyue. Naturally, Su Yuchen refuses. He insists he did nothing wrong and won't apologize to Su Yuyue. Ji Yu Hanzhou frowns. Su Yuchen has always been obedient, never daring to defy him. What has gotten into him today that he dares to resist? So, he orders Su Yuchen to stand there until he admits his mistake. He turns and goes back inside. Ji Yu Qingzhou asks where Su Yuchen is, and Ji Yu Hanzhou tells him the truth. Su Yuyu's eyes are filled with hatred. Ji Yu Hanzhou does not notice at all. Instead, he gently strokes Su Yuyu's cheek, softly asking if it still hurts. Su Yuyue shakes his head with a smile, explaining that it was just a joke. Inside, Su Yuyue feels pain. Ji Yu Hanzhou will never understand that as long as it is from Su Yuchen, he likes it, no matter what it is. Ji Yu Hanzhou apologizes to Su Yuyue, saying he rushed back to stand up for him. The company still needs his attention. There are many things left unfinished, so he needs to hurry upstairs now. Pei Suyue expresses understanding. Of course, work is important. Ji Yu Hanzhou asks Ji Yu Qingzhou to come upstairs with him as well, saying he has something to ask. Pei Suyue watches the two turn and leave, her expression turning cold. Ji Yu Hanzhou, towards Su Yuchen. Every bit of mistreatment, he will repay it double. Night falls, and Su Yuchen is still standing outside. Pei Suyue comes looking for him. Su Yuchen brushes off Pei Suyu's hand as she tries to touch him, telling her not to disgust him anymore. On one hand, she acts nice to him, while on the other, she goes to Ji Yu Hanzhou to complain. This is truly two-faced. If Pei Suyue wants Ji Yu Hanzhou to hate him even more, her goal has already been achieved, and she can leave now. Pei Suyue anxiously asks him what Ji Yu Hanzhou said to him. How could Pei Suyue possibly have complained to Ji Yu Hanzhou? Su Yuchen does not believe her at all. If it was not Pei Suyue, who else could it be? Pei Suyue solemnly tells Su Yuchen that she believes it was Ji Yu Qingzhou who told Ji Yu Hanzhou. If Su Yuchen does not believe her, she will prove herself. However, Su Yuchen refuses to listen. He tells Pei Suyue not to act so hypocritical in front of him. If Pei Suyue likes Ji Yu Hanzhou, she should focus her attention on him. Su Yuchen is just a nobody and does not need Pei Suyu's concern. Su Yuchen tells Pei Suyue to stay away from him. He does not want to see her anymore. Pei Suyue is shocked and pleads with Su Yuchen not to leave. She suddenly hugs him tightly. Su Yuchen struggles but is stunned to see Pei Suyue crying. Could it really be true that she was not the one who complained? Pei Suyue holds Su Yuchen tightly, telling him that he can be angry with her, hit her, or scold her, but he must not leave her. Su Yuchen's heart skips a beat. After all, this is the Ji Yu family. Isn't Pei Suyue afraid of being discovered by Ji Yu Hanzhou? If Pei Suyue is acting, then her performance is too convincing. He tells Pei Suyue that Ji Yu Hanzhou ordered him to stand here as punishment. Once Ji Yu Hanzhou calms down, everything will be fine. He urges Pei Suyue to leave quickly and stop causing trouble for him here. No matter what, Su Yuchen can't let Pei Suyue continued to cause a scene, reluctantly agreeing to compromise and turning to leave. For some reason, seeing Su Yuyu's expression just now, Su Yuchen suddenly thought of the boy he once saved. Su Yuchen attended a high school with strict closed management, and that boy, the boy with the surname Pei, lived a life of luxury, which often made him a target of envy. Strangely, even when he was bullied, he rarely resisted. This emboldened the small cliques, who increasingly crossed the line, frequently dragging him into abandoned bathrooms to beat and insult him. Back then, Su Yuchen was flamboyant and completely different from who he is now. One day, unable to stand it any longer, he rushed over and beat up the bullies. He then gently took care of the boy with the surname Pei. Su Yuchen told those people that he would protect the boy from now on, and no one was allowed to touch him. This incident happened so long ago that Su Yuchen only vaguely remembers it. The boy's surname was Pei, but his name was not Pei Suyu. Over the years, Su Yuchen has gone through too many changes and is no longer the person he once was. Suddenly, Su Yuchen's phone rang. It was his father calling. He answered, and his father angrily questioned him, asking if he intended to lock him up forever. His father shouted, had he forgotten who gave him his current achievements? Was he planning to starve his own father to death? Su Yuchen sneered and replied, how could his father think that way? His father was the only blood relative he had in this world, and no one loved his father more than he did. But if his father did not complete the tasks he assigned, how could he let him out? If the tasks were not done perfectly, it meant no meals. Su Yuchen stated coldly that without completing the assignments to perfection, his father would not be allowed to eat. These were the words his father had once said to him. After saying them, Su Yuchen hung up the phone, looked up at the sky, and suddenly, it started raining heavily. Meanwhile, Pei Suyue found Jiyu Hanzhou and told him that it was pouring outside. Shouldn't Su Yuchen be let inside? Jiyu Hanzhou did not care at all. It is just getting wet in the rain. Su Yuchen made a mistake, so he should be punished. He remarked that it was getting late and told Pei Suyue to go rest early. Pei Suyue suddenly acted impulsively. When Jiyu Hanzhou was not paying attention, she pushed him halfway down, causing him to fall down the stairs. Watching Jiyu Hanzhou fall so miserably, she sneered coldly. At that moment, Jiyu Qingzhou rushed over. Pei Suyue immediately changed her expression and gently asked him if he was okay, wondering how he could suddenly fall down the stairs. Jiyu Hanzhou frowned, thinking that he must have misinterpreted Pei Suyu's earlier smile. Shortly after, elsewhere, Su Yuchen saw an ambulance driving in. He was utterly shocked. What was going on? Why was Jiyu Hanzhou being taken to the hospital? At this moment, Pei Suyue walked over, draped a coat over him, and told him it was a gift for him. Pei Suyue asked if he was happy. Su Yuchen suddenly realized that Jiyu Hanzhou's situation was caused by Pei Suyue. Pei Suyue laughed, saying that since Jiyu Hanzhou had hurt Su Yuchen, he deserved to be punished. She knew how to control her strength, and besides, Jiyu Hanzhou did not see her push him. He simply thought he tripped because he was not paying attention. So what did it have to do with her? Su Yuchen questioned her, asking if she knew what she was doing. Pei Suyue laughed again, saying she knew, but she just could not stand seeing Jiyu Hanzhou bully Su Yuchen. It was raining so heavily, yet Jiyu Hanzhou made Su Yuchen stand outside. That was just too cruel. Su Yuchen frowned. Pei Suyue trusted him so much, was not she afraid he would expose her? Pei Suyue shook her head. He is completely unafraid. Everything he has belongs to Su Yuchen, so Su Yuchen has the right to deal with him. Su Yuchen was stunned. Could it be that Pei Suyue really likes him? However, before he could ask, he sneezed. Pei Suyue immediately touched his forehead. Indeed, he had a fever. Pei Suyue handed his umbrella to Su Yuchen and helped him wrap his clothes properly. Then, he picked him up horizontally. Su Yuchen was startled and questioned him, asking what kind of madness he was up to again. Soon, Pei Suyue brought Su Yuchen to the car and headed to a private hospital, with Pei Suyu's personal assistant Xiao Jin driving. Xiao Jin glanced at Su Yuchen through the rearview mirror, knowing that this was the person his boss had been thinking about for years. However, Pei Suyue glared back at him and coldly questioned him, asking if no one had ever told him not to look around when the boss was handling serious matters. Xiao Jin immediately agreed. Pei Suyue took out a handkerchief and wiped the sweat off Su Yuchen, worried about how Su Yuchen had become so easily bullied. He saw the bite marks on Su Yuchen's neck, which had already faded, and kissed them, wanting to leave his mark on Su Yuchen forever. But Su Yuchen still had a fever, and doing this now seemed somewhat opportunistic. Pei Suyue decided to do it later. After all, there would be plenty of opportunities. The next day, when Su Yuchen woke up, he heard Pei Suyue talking on the phone with Jiyu Hanzhou, saying he was out of town and telling Jiyu Hanzhou to rest well. When he noticed Su Yuchen had woken up, Pei Suyue hung up the phone and touched his forehead, realizing the fever had gone down. Seeing Pei Suyu's expression, Su Yuchen felt strange. Ever since he remembered that young man, he always had a peculiar feeling when looking at Pei Suyue. So he asked Pei Suyue if they had met before. Pei Suyue gave an ambiguous answer, maybe. But Su Yuchen pressed on directly. Su Yue did not want to talk about those dirty pasts. If Su Yuchen could not remember, he thought it would be best to let them remain buried forever. Without Su Yuchen, he would just be a stray dog in the mire. It was Su Yuchen's presence that made him who he is now. Su Yuchen frowned and told him to stop looking at him with such a disgusting gaze. Su Yue did not care at all and asked Su Yuchen if there was anything he wanted to eat or if he wanted an apple peeled. Seeing that he really started peeling the apple, Su Yuchen could not understand why Jiyu Hanzhou and his group treated Su Yue so well. Yet he did not enjoy it and instead came here to serve him. Su Yue shook his head, saying that how those people treated him had nothing to do with him. He only cared about Su Yuchen. Su Yuchen did not appreciate it at all. However, Su Yuyue said that if Su Yuchen did not eat the apple, he would keep holding it. Su Yuchen was utterly defeated and ate the apple. Su Yuyu's hands were idle, and he found Su Yuchen's way of eating very cute. He really wanted to take a picture and put it in his Su Yuchen collection room. Suddenly, Su Yuchen asked him how he planned to explain things to Jiyu Hanzhou. Su Yuyue decided to let Jiyu Hanzhou stay in the hospital for a few days first. Unfortunately, the stairs were too short to cripple Jiyu Hanzhou for life. Hearing this, Su Yuchen realized that Su Yuyue was ruthless. He asked Su Yuyue if Jiyu Hanzhou knew that the white moonlight he missed so much was so cruel, he would probably be completely disappointed, right? Su Yuyue did not care at all. Su Yuchen turned his head and told him not to waste his efforts on him. For now, he would not leave Jiyu Hanzhou because their agreement had not expired yet. If he broke the contract first, with Jiyu Hanzhou's temper, he certainly would not let him go. After hearing his decision, Su Yuyue continued to stay with him. Su Yuchen was puzzled about one thing. Actually, he and Su Yuyue did not look alike, so why did Jiyu Hanzhou choose him as a substitute? Of course, Su Yuyue knew the reason. It was because he smiled like Su Yuchen. Su Yuchen thought this was a mistake. How could the white moonlight look like the substitute? Su Yuyue insisted he was not wrong and told him not to. He kept mentioning words like stand in. He did not want to hear Su Yuchen talk like that. He asked Su Yuchen if Jiyu Hanzhou punishing him like this was a common occurrence. Su Yuchen nodded, saying that Jiyu Hanzhou was difficult to serve and would vent all his work-related frustrations on him, allowing others to bully him without ever standing up for him. This incident was just the tip of the iceberg. Hearing this, Pei Suyue could not hold back and hugged him tightly. Su Yuchen was stunned, wondering why Pei Suyue was reacting so strongly. Pei Suyue, however, told Su Yuchen, "I am sorry." Su Yuchen was confused, and Pei Suyue explained that he had come too late. In Pei Suyue's tragic life, there were many regrets, but the one he regretted the most was not knowing how to hide his feelings when he was young, which led his father to discover his true nature. His father was furious, treating him like a monster, a lunatic, and sent him to a so-called professional institution for treatment. 2 whole years of darkness followed, filled with electric shocks, medication, and core hypnosis that made him feel like he was living in hell. Later, he finally learned to hide his true self, pretending to be normal. After being discharged and dealing with the disgusting pests, Pei Suyue returned to the country in his most perfect and clean appearance, ready to see Su Yuchen. However, when he finally got news of Su Yuchen, he realized he was too late. Su Yuchen seemed to have been completely bewitched by Jiyu Hanzhou, following him blindly and devotedly. Pei Suyue was consumed with hatred and jealousy, but he did not dare to act recklessly, fearing that Su Yuchen would be hurt. Still, he would not give up. One day, he vowed to take Su Yuchen back from Jiyu Hanzhou. After recalling everything, Pei Suyue was filled with determination. He would not stop until he succeeded. These things. Pei Suyue continued to take care of Su Yuchen. Just then, the phone rang. Su Yuchen answered the call. Jiyu Hanzhou questioned him, asking where he had been during the days he was in the hospital. Su Yuchen, feeling guilty, replied that he had a fever and was also in the hospital. There was a moment of silence on the other end, then he was asked who took him to the hospital. Su Yuchen lied, saying he went by himself. Jiyu Hanzhou sneered, saying that without his permission, who allowed him to leave, had he forgotten that he was still being punished. Su Yuchen frowned, saying that it was raining heavily at that time, and if he had continued to stand there, he would have gotten worse. Su Yuchen sneered inwardly, thinking that Jiyu Hanzhou was so heartless. Pei Suyue sat down, wanting to know if Su Yuchen was okay. Su Yuchen connected to the internet. He did not want to talk. On the other end of the phone, Jiyu Hanzhou ordered Su Yuchen to return home immediately within an hour. Su Yuchen pretended to be pitiful, telling him that the hospital was a bit remote, and it might be difficult to get there within an hour. Jiyu Hanzhou reminded him not to forget that his father was still in prison, his mother was still in the Jiyu family's private hospital, and his whole family was in their hands. So what right did he have to refuse orders? Su Yuchen took a deep breath, vowing that one day, he would personally make Jiyu Hanzhou pay the price. Jiyu Hanzhou continued to order Su Yuchen. During this period, while Pei Suyue was on a business trip, Su Yuchen had to come over every night to give him a massage. Just like before. Su Yuchen agreed, hung up the phone, and prepared to go back. Pei Suyue stood up, wanting to follow, but Su Yuchen refused because Jiyu Hanzhou still thought Pei Suyue was on a business trip. He told Pei Suyue to be obedient. If Pei Suyue went back, it would only arouse suspicion. So he should wait a couple of days before returning. Pei Suyue reluctantly agreed. Not long after, Su Yuchen arrived at the Jiyu family. Jiyu Qingzhou asked him if he knew how angry his elder brother was when he came back and did not see him. Su Yuchen pretended to look pale and lowered his head. Seeing this, Jiyu Qingzhou felt a bit sorry for him, reminding him that Pei Suyue was on a business trip, and Ji Yu Hanjo was now losing his temper, without any consideration. He told Su Yu-chen, "Be careful." At this moment, they heard a loud noise coming from the bedroom. Su Yu-chen walked over, and Ji Yu Hanjo looked at him coldly, reminding him that he was 3 minutes late and told him to come over. Su Yu-chen walked over, but Ji Yu Hanjo grabbed his chin and slammed him onto the table. Ji Yu Hanjo demanded to know if he realized his mistake. Su Yu-chen naturally admitted it, but Ji Yu Hanjo pressed him to specify what his mistake was. Su Yu-chen, forced to his limit, replied that he should not have hit Pei Suyue, should not have left the Ji Yu family without permission, and should not have talked back to Ji Yu Hanjo. Ji Yu Hanjo coldly questioned him about why he had not come to take care of him during his hospital stay. Su Yu-chen explained that he had lost his voice and had been running a fever. However, Ji Yu Hanjo did not consider these valid excuses. If Su Yu-chen did not resemble Pei Suyue and was not obedient enough, he would have kicked him out long ago. But now, had Su Yu-chen even lost his only advantage, Su Yu-chen paused and asked Ji Yu Hanjo to let him leave the Ji Yu family. Ji Yu Hanjo was furious, and Su Yu-chen, crying, responded that the person Ji Yu Hanjo wanted had already returned to the country, and he was no longer needed here. So, as long as Ji Yu Hanjo said the word, he could pack up and leave immediately. Su Yu-chen had calculated well. If Ji Yu Hanjo was the one to suggest he leave, it would not count as him breaking the contract. However, to his surprise, Ji Yu Hanjo disagreed and even pressed him onto the table with one hand. Ji Yu Hanjo, extremely angry, revealed that he was investigating the truth behind Su Yu-chen's father's wrongful conviction and was trying to reduce his sentence. But now, Su Yu-chen wanted to break the contract. Was this how Su Yu-chen repaid him? He reminded Su Yu-chen not to forget that his mother was still in the Ji Yu family's private hospital and that he could have her kicked out at any time. Su Yu-chen gritted his teeth, and Ji Yu Hanjo continued to up the ante, telling Su Yu-chen that if he left the Ji Yu family, he would have nowhere to go. At this point, Su Yu-chen had no choice but to play the pity card and apologize. Again, he asked Ji Yu Hanjo if he could reunite with his family after the contract expired in a year. Ji Yu Hanjo's hand began to caress Su Yu-chen, telling him to be obedient and wait for Pei Suyue. Ji Yu Hanjo had never touched Su Yu-chen before, but now, seeing Su Yu-chen's submissive and fearful demeanor, he could not help but feel a surge of desire. Ji Yu Hanjo hesitated, torn between waiting for Pei Suyue and following his inner desires to make Su Yu-chen his own. Su Yu-chen, feeling a strange sensation, became alert. He silently cursed Ji Yu Hanjo as a pervert. Even this can get a reaction. So, the alliance wanted to go back, but Ji Yu Hanjo made him turn around and kneel. Looking at the finished Ji Yu Hanjo, Su Yu-chen asked him, "Don't you hate me? Don't you like being with Pei Suyu?" Ji Yu Hanjo did not care at all. Now, Su Yu-chen is his possession and he can do anything to Su Yu-chen. As long as Su Yu-chen does not say anything, Pei Suyu will never know. Su Yu-chen was pulled over by him and could not help but ask, "Isn't this unfair to Pei Suyu's years of infatuated waiting?" Ji Yu Hanjo admitted that his heart is with Pei Suyu, but he can place his desires on Su Yu-chen. Ji Yu Hanjo suddenly exerted force, pressing Su Yu-chen between his legs. Su Yu-chen's hair stood on end. This scumbag. Fortunately, at this moment, the phone suddenly rang, and Ji Yu Hanjo answered it. It was Pei Suyu calling. Pei Suyu told Ji Yu Hanjo that his work here was finished. He was not very familiar with the roads in this city. Could Ji Yu Hanjo come pick him up? Ji Yu Hanjo readily agreed and asked Pei Suyu to send the address. Su Yu-chen sighed. Pei Suyu's call was really timely. Ji Yu Hanjo got up and told Su Yu-chen to go back for today. Su Yu-chen agreed, and Ji Yu Hanjo warned Su Yu-chen not to let Pei Suyu know about this. After everyone left, Su Yu-chen fell into deep thought. Ji Yu Hanjo was acting too strangely today. It has been more than a year. Why would he suddenly be interested in him? Suddenly, he received a message. Pei Suyu asked Su Yu-chen if he killed Ji Yu Hanjo now, would Su Yu-chen be sad? Su Yu-chen was shocked. What exactly did Pei Suyu want to do? He felt that Pei Suyu was not just saying this casually. He told Pei Suyu to calm down and asked him what exactly happened. Pei Suyu could not stand the thought of Su Yu-chen being alone with Ji Yu Hanjo. Only by killing Ji Yu Hanjo could Su Yu-chen be free. Su Yu-chen told Pei Suyu to stop joking. Killing is illegal, and he was pondering. Why was the timing so perfect? Ji Yu Hanjo had just done that to him, and Pei Suyu went crazy. On the other side, Pei Suyu reassured him, saying it was not worth going to jail for Ji Yu Hanjo. He still wanted to spend his life with Su Yu-chen. But he also had to give Ji Yu Hanjo some necessary prejudice. Su Yu-chen cried for help. How could there be a person using such cute emoticons to say something so terrifying? Pei Suyu told Su Yu-chen about Su Yu-chen's father and mother, and that he would definitely help solve the problem. Su Yu-chen was stunned. The matters of his family were only known to him and Ji Yu Hanjo. He had never told anyone else. So, how did Pei Suyu know about this? On the other side, Pei Suyu thought that if Su Yuchen found out he had installed surveillance, Su Yuchen would definitely be angry and then scared. So, he chose not to tell the truth and explained that he had someone investigate after he returned to the country. He also knew that Su Yuchen and Ji Yu Hanzhou had signed a secret agreement. Pei Suyu told Su Yuchen to let him know if he had any difficulties, and they could face them together. Su Yuchen frowned. It seemed that the Pei group was even more powerful than he had imagined. Pei Suyu continued to sign, asking Su Yuchen not to be angry with him. Pei Suyu explained that he only did it out of concern, which is why he secretly had someone investigate. He directly pointed out that Ji Yu Hanzhou was using Su Yuchen's family to threaten them into being together. Pei Suyu begged Su Yuchen to reply to him, saying he was almost at the Ji Yu family home. Su Yuchen thought that the Ji Yu family was powerful and influential, and with his current preparations, he was not yet ready to confront the Ji Yu family head-on. If he had a reliable ally, he might really be able to break away from Ji Yu Hanzhou sooner. Su Yuchen sighed and hesitated. Should he trust Pei Suyu? Ji Yu Hanzhou soon arrived at the airport and picked up Pei Suyu, gently asking him how his business trip was and if he was busy. Pei Suyu nodded and thanked Ji Yu Hanzhou for specially coming to pick him up. Ji Yu Hanzhou smiled and shook his head, saying it was nothing, that Pei Suyu would always be his top priority. Pei Suyu brought some local specialties for Ji Yu Hanzhou, saying they were delicious and that Ji Yu Hanzhou should definitely try them. Little did Ji Yu Hanzhou know, Pei Suyu had put something in them that would make a man impotent. He wanted to see if Ji Yu Hanzhou would still dare to bully Su Yuchen. Ji Yu Hanzhou warmly thanked Pei Suyu with a smile and informed him that in half a month, it would be Ji Yu Qingzhou's 18th birthday. Ji Yu Hanzhou planned to hold a birthday party at the Ji Yu family's old residence and hoped Pei Suyu would attend. Pei Suyu agreed, not wanting to deal with Ji Yu Hanzhou at all. Wherever Su Yuchen was, that is where he would be. Soon it was evening and they were having dinner together. Ji Yu Qingzhou complained that when they played basketball together, if Lu Mingchen lost, he would sulk. He really could not stand losing. Ji Yu Hanzhou stared at him. They wanted to establish a good relationship with the Lu family. So, Ji Yu Qingzhou had to be more accommodating, as Lu Mingchen was spoiled by the Lu family. Suddenly, Su Yuchen felt someone rubbing against him, and he was startled. He did not know why Pei Suyu was acting so strangely. Pei Suyu's movements did not stop. Under the table, his foot kept rubbing against Su Yuchen, even lifting his clothes. Su Yuchen got angry, thinking, just because you have long legs, you think you can rub against me. Su Yuchen quickly stood up, saying he had finished eating and had some chores to do. Ji Yu Hanzhou agreed before he could finish speaking. Before leaving, Su Yuchen glared at Pei Suyu, who immediately got the hint. 5 minutes later, Pei Suyu excused himself to go to the bathroom and left. He found Su Yuchen and hugged him from behind, kissing him. He missed Su Yuchen. Su Yuchen felt a shiver down his spine and reminded him that Ji Yu Hanzhou and the others were still outside, telling him to restrain himself. Pei Suyu did not restrain himself at all and even flirtatiously asked if this counted as an affair. Pei Suyu turned Su Yuchen around and kissed his ear. Su Yuchen found it hard to refuse, breathing heavily and frowning. Pei Suyu was not afraid of being discovered by the others. Seeing Su Yuchen's flushed face, he asked if he was embarrassed. Su Yuchen pushed him away, telling him not to go too far. Pei Suyu laughed and said he wanted to roll into Su Yuchen's heart. Su Yuchen turned around and started working, not understanding why he was beginning to accept Pei Suyu's foolish behavior. Suddenly, Ji Yu Hanzhou called out to Su Yuchen, irritably asking if he heard him calling to come and clean the dishes. Su Yuchen instantly understood. It must be because Ji Yu Hanzhou was being a nuisance. Pei Suyu gently reassured Su Yuchen, saying he would deal with Ji Yu Hanzhou, and Su Yuchen should wait there. Pei Suyu turned and walked out, going to Ji Yu Hanzhou and telling him that he heard Su Yuchen was almost done being Ji Yu Hanzhou's assistant. It has been a year. He had some questions to ask Su Yuchen, so he let Ji Yu Qingzhou do the dishes instead. It is a good opportunity to train Ji Yu Qingzhou's housekeeping skills. Ji Yu Qingzhou was so reluctant. He absolutely did not want to wash the dishes. Ji Yu Hanzhou hesitated for a moment. Accompanying Su Yu seemed like a chance to ask Su Yuchen, the stand-in, some questions. He must want to learn more about himself. So, he told Ji Yu Qingzhou to listen to Su Yu and go wash the dishes quickly. Ji Yu Qingzhou reluctantly complied. Ji Yu Hanzhou got up and told Su Yu that he needed to handle some work. If Su Yuchen did not cooperate, Su Yu should let him know. Su Yu agreed, turned, and went to the balcony to find Su Yuchen, immediately hugging him. Su Yuchen, he missed Su Yuchen. Su Yuchen was speechless. It had only been a few minutes, and they were still in Gu's house. Su Yuchen told Su Yu to be more careful. Su Yu agreed, saying that it was precisely because they were in Gu's house that he wanted to leave traces of him and Su Yuchen here. He asked Su Yu-chen if he knew what kind of traces he was talking about. Su Yu held Su Yu-chen's hand and placed it on his cheek. Su Yu-chen's heart was racing, but he rationally pulled his hand away. If Ji Yu Hanzhou found out about this, it would not be him who would suffer, but Su Yu. Su Yu was willing to take the risk. Did Su Yu-chen still not trust his feelings? Su Yu-chen shook his head. Feelings are not something to be trusted. He walked forward. Su Yu followed, wondering if Su Yu-chen was going to take a shower. Sure enough, Su Yu saw Su Yu-chen taking off his clothes. Su Yu-chen warned Su Yu to turn around, but Su Yu did not comply. Instead, Su Yu asked Su Yu-chen if he would take good care of little Su tonight. Come here. If Su Yu-chen wants, she can help anytime, anywhere. Su Yu-chen decisively refused, slammed the door shut, and listened to the sound of running water inside. Pei Suyuan obediently waited outside the door. 10 minutes later, Su Yu-chen finished her shower and came out. Pei Suyuan wanted to help her dry her hair. Su Yu-chen sat down and let Pei Suyuan hold the hairdryer and dry her hair. She thought, if someone was willing to serve her, and she was too lazy to do it herself, it was perfect. Pei Suyuan leaned in close to Su Yu-chen and smelled a fragrance on her. She told Su Yu-chen that she had already found a way to deal with Su Yu-chen's parents' matter. However, the Ji Yu family was very powerful, and it might take about 2 months. During this period, she would have her people secretly deal with Ji Yu Hanzhou to weaken her power. Su Yu-chen calmly asked Pei Suyuan, since Ji Yu Hanzhou liked her so much and pampered her, would not she feel guilty for secretly dealing with Ji Yu Hanzhou for her sake? Pei Suyuan laughed. Ji Yu Hanzhou had set her sights on the most important and cherished person to her. She was already trying her best to tolerate it by not killing Ji Yu Hanzhou. So how could she feel guilty? Su Yu-chen was stunned for a moment. Pei Suyuan's intense killing intent did not seem like an act. She asked Pei Suyuan if she wanted something in return for helping her. Pei Suyuan seriously explained that she did not want any exchange of interests with Su Yu-chen. Everything of Pei Suyuan's belonged to Su Yu-chen, her body and soul. All she wanted was to be controlled by Su Yu-chen. She leaned down and told Su Yu-chen, while on her lap, that Su Yu-chen was unique and irreplaceable. She was not a substitute for anyone. Su Yu-chen paused, thinking that Pei Suyuan would at least ask for them to be together. However, Pei Suyuan did not dare. Su Yu-chen closed her eyes. She was used to relying on herself for everything, not depending on anyone. No matter if Pei Suyuan's actions during this period were genuine or an act, whether it was a whim or something else, Su Yu-chen hoped that Pei Suyuan would not expect any return from her. Su Yu-chen coldly reminded herself that she was still under Ji Yu Hanzhou's control. If she really developed feelings for Pei Suyuan, she would be doomed. At that moment, Pei Suyuan kissed her finger and said that if she was not worthy of being her partner, then she would be her most obedient little dog, helping Su Yu-chen willingly without expecting anything in return. As long as she could stay by Su Yu-chen's side, that was enough. Late at night, Su Yu-chen is lying in bed, messaging Shen Yuan. He asks Shen Yuan if he has found out the background of Pei Suyuan, as he mentioned investigating before. Shen Yuan is shocked, wondering if Pei Suyuan has already started targeting Su Yu-chen. Actually, it is not that Shen Yuan did not want to investigate. He thought the main forces of the Pei family had moved abroad. Despite his efforts, he could not find out the current situation of the Pei family, and their influence in the country could not be underestimated. Su Yu-chen explains that Pei Suyuan has not targeted him. Instead, he has been trying to be friendly. This unexpected behavior makes Shen Yuan wary, and he tells Su Yu-chen that Pei Suyuan might be trying to gain his sympathy before stabbing him in the back. Su Yu-chen must be on guard against Pei Suyuan. Pei Suyuan is definitely not a good person. Although Shen Yuan could not find any information on Pei Suyuan, he did gather a bunch of things for Su Yu-chen. What are they? Tips on how to identify and counter low-level, intermediate, and advanced tricks. Su Yu-chen is shocked, wondering what strange things Shen Yuan has been looking at lately. Su Yu-chen, speechless, asks Shen Yuan to find another way to investigate Pei Suyuan and the Pei family, possibly starting with Pei Suyuan's past and student days. This seems like a good idea to Shen Yuan, who promises to complete the task. Meanwhile, Pei Suyuan is also messaging someone, instructing them to keep an eye on the Su family's parents and monitor the Guoshi enterprise. They need to find a way to take over all their cooperative projects. Pei Suyuan does not care about the cost, as long as he can see Guoshi's stock prices fall and their funds deplete. He turns to look at Su Yu-chen, thinking that he will solve everything for him. Just as he is thinking this, Su Yu-chen throws a pillow at him, annoyed that Pei Suyuan is still awake and the light from his phone is bothering him. Pei Suyuan cries softly, saying the floor is too cold and he can't sleep. He wants to sleep on the bed with Su Yu-chen, but Su Yu-chen refuses and throws him a blanket. Pei Suyuan is touched. Su Yu-chen, with his tough exterior but soft heart, is just too adorable. Pei Suyuan thinks that once he helps Su Yu-chen with his parents' issues, he wonders if Su Yu-chen will be willing to get closer to him. They exchange ambiguous glances. Pei Suyuan wants Su Yuchen to experience ultimate happiness, so he moves closer. The two entangle, and gradually, Su Yuchen starts to breathe heavily. Suddenly, Pei Suyuan opens his eyes wide and sits up. He realizes that all the intimacy just now was a dream. Looking down, he sees he has a physical reaction. Not wanting to wake Su Yuchen, he quietly gets up and pours a glass of water for him. Placing it on the bedside table, he leans down and kisses Su Yuchen's forehead, whispering good morning. In the following days, Jiyu Hanzhou is busy organizing Jiyu Qingzhou's 18th birthday party. Su Yuchen is also swamped with various tasks, leaving him no time to think about anything else. Fortunately, Pei Suyuan always manages to show up and help Su Yuchen out whenever Jiyu Hanzhou makes things difficult for him. On the day of Jiyu Qingzhou's 18th birthday party, the place is bustling with people. Su Yuchen finds a quiet corner to keep himself busy. Suddenly, someone called out to her and directly hugged her. It was Pei Suyuan. Su Yuchen frowned and reminded her in a low voice, "How many times have I told you? Even if there is no one around, you should not just throw yourself at me like this. What if the surveillance cameras catch us?" Pei Suyuan reassured Su Yuchen, saying she could handle this. Jiyu Hanzhou would not be able to see any surveillance footage without her approval. Pei Suyuan was quite happy. Every time she threw herself at Su Yuchen, he never rejected her. Su Yuchen sighed helplessly. In the adult world, silence means rejection. But in Pei Suyuan's world, if Su Yuchen did not reject her, it meant he agreed. Su Yuchen raised his hand to block her, but then gave up. Pei Suyuan's twisted logic was endless. Pei Suyuan smiled mischievously and hugged him tightly, asking if he knew that what they were doing now was considered sneaking around. Su Yuchen thought this was utter nonsense. Who was sneaking around with her? Just then, Su Yuchen noticed someone approaching. He quickly pulled Pei Suyuan to shield himself. Taking advantage of the moment, Pei Suyuan kissed him and asked, "Does this count?" Su Yuchen was flustered. This birthday banquet was attended by many prestigious families. No matter how powerful the Pei family was, they could not afford to lose their composure. If they were discovered, it would not just be her reputation at stake. Pei Suyuan's reputation would also be damaged. However, Pei Suyuan did not care about reputation. She only cared about Su Yuchen. But Su Yuchen cared about these things. Pei Suyuan nodded and agreed. She promised to obediently remain Su Yuchen's secret lover. If Su Yuchen did not want to go public, she absolutely would not. Su Yuchen was both amused and annoyed, telling her to get lost. She had not agreed to Pei Suyuan's proposal. This year, thanks to Jiyu Hanzhou, Su Yuchen was able to attend various banquets filled with elites, which helped her secure numerous projects and investments for her company. She sneered, thinking to herself that Jiyu Hanzhou should just wait and see. Those labels like assistant, stepping stone, and plaything, she was determined to erase them herself. Pei Suyuan stayed with Su Yuchen. No matter what she wanted to do, Pei Suyuan would accompany her. Suddenly, there was a loud roar, and the Lu family's car arrived. Everyone heard that this time, it was the eldest young master of the Lu family personally bringing young master Lu Mingchen along. Everyone thought that it was still President Gu's influence that made this possible. The entire Lu family attended this banquet. Lu Mingchen got out of the car, wished Jiyu Qingzhou a happy birthday, and mentioned that his older brother had specially returned from abroad to celebrate Jiyu Qingzhou's birthday. Jiyu Qingzhou was pleasantly surprised, as he had not seen Lu Mingfeng in a long time. Jiyu Hanzhou also remarked that Lu Miangfeng's personal attendance was an honor for the Jiyu family. An hour earlier, in the car, Lu Mingchen told Lu Mingfeng that he had visited the Jiyu family a few days ago. He mentioned how annoying Su Yuchen was and explained that Su Yuchen was the one who, relying on her slight resemblance to Pei Suyue, shamelessly climbed into Jiyu Hanzhou's bed. Lu Mingfeng was completely indifferent, thinking that Su Yuchen was nothing more than a plaything who flaunted her body. Meanwhile, Lu Mingchen, being the cherished young master of the Lu family, did not need to bother with Su Yuchen. In Lu Miangfeng's heart, Pei Suyue was irreplaceable. He believed that only someone as tasteless as Jiyu Hanzhou would come up with the idea of finding a substitute for Pei Suyue. However, Lu Mingchen still could not help but feel disgusted, thinking that Su Yuchen would even give up her dignity for money. When he was at the Jiyu family home, just seeing Su Yuchen fawning over Jiyu Hanzhou made him furious. Lu Mingchen had heard that Su Yuchen's father went to prison after his business failed, and her mother was hospitalized due to illness. Su Yuchen had even dropped out of college and only had a high school diploma. He could not understand how Jiyu Hanzhou could tolerate someone like her. Staying in the Jiyu family home, Lu Mingfeng keenly noticed that Lu Mingchen liked Jiyu Hanzhou. When Lu Mingchen's feelings were exposed, he hastily denied it, making excuses that he just could not stand seeing Jiyu Hanzhou being taken advantage of by someone like that. Lu Mingfeng indulgently reassured Lu Mingchen, saying that Jiyu Hanzhou had been in the business world for years and was always the one taking advantage of others, not the other way around. Lu Mingchen thought about it and realized it made sense. Since Pei Suyue was now living under the same roof as Su Yuchen every day, It should be Pei Suyue who was angrier. Lu Mingfeng was curious and asked why Pei Suyue, after returning from abroad, was staying at the Jiyu family home. Lu Mingchen explained that it was Pei Suyue who had requested it, likely to put Su Yuchen in her place. After all, she was Jiyu Hanzhou's rightful moonlight. Lu Mingchen knew that Lu Mingfeng had always been thinking about Pei Suyue. Based on what he had seen and heard at the Jiyu family home, Pei Suyue did not seem to be that close to Jiyu Hanzhou. Perhaps Lu Mingfeng still had a chance. Lu Mingfeng, embarrassed and angry, told his younger brother to stop asking so many questions. Lu Mingchen grinned cheekily. This was Lu Myungfeng's first time meeting Pei Suyue in person, and Lu Mingchen reminded him to, "Don't act too excited." Lu Mingfeng looked at him with a good-natured expression and started to take care of himself. He told Lu Mingchen, the troublemaker, to behave. Lu Mingchen hugged his big brother affectionately. As long as Lu Mingfeng was around, he was willing to be a troublemaker for life. No matter what he did, Lu Mingfeng would always cover for him. Lu Mingfeng smiled and patted him. The driver in the front sighed inwardly. Only when Lu Mingchen was around did Lu Mingfeng seem approachable. The driver sighed again. Lu Mingchen was adopted by the Lu family. If the real young master were still alive, he would have been spoiled by the entire Lu family. The driver heard that in that big fire, the young master Lu Chen, who was in the fort, was burned beyond recognition. Over the years, the madam had become reticent, the master had aged significantly, and Lu Mingfeng had always lived in guilt, feeling it was his fault for losing his little brother. To make up for the pain, the master and madam adopted a child from the orphanage who shared the same birthday as the young master. They poured all their love and regret for the young master into him, even giving him a name similar to Lu Chen's, thus he became Lu Mingchen. Lu Mingfeng shook hands with Jiyu Hanzhou. Jiyu Hanzhou thanked Lu Mingfeng for attending his younger brother's birthday party. Lu Mingfeng said Jiyu Hanzhou was being too polite. Jiyu Qingzhou and Lu Mingchen were good friends and had grown up under their watch. Of course, he had to come and show support. Su Yichen, watching from the shadows, knew that the person was the famous head of the Lu family. He had heard that Lu Mingfeng was ruthless and cold-blooded, swift and decisive, known as Master Lu. Even Jiyu Hanzhou had to show him respect. Moreover, Su Yichen had heard that Lu Myungfeng's first love was Pei Suyue. Looking at Pei Suyue, he thought, these elites really have similar tastes. Pei Suyue was practically a social butterfly. Pei Suyue did not know why Su Yichen was staring at him and approached directly. Su Yichen pushed him away, telling him not to get too close. All the important people were already present, so why was not he mingling? Pei Suyue wanted to stay by Su Yichen's side for just one more minute. Even after a long time, Pei Suyue still stayed by Su Yichen's side. Su Yichen received a message that Shen Yuan had arrived at the door. He told Pei Suyue to keep his distance. Pei Suyue seriously replied that if someone called him, he would leave and promised not to disturb Su Yichen's business. But he thought Su Yichen looked very handsome when he was working seriously, and he liked it very much. At that moment, Shen Yuan from Yunsheng Group arrived. The crowd gathered around. Greeting Shen Yuan. Yunsheng Group had risen rapidly in the past 2 years. Many companies were now vying to collaborate with Shen Yuan. It was said that Yunsheng Group had made a huge profit in the first quarter alone and was about to go public. Everyone praised Shen Yuan for being young and promising. Shen Yuan smiled and said they were flattering him. He was just an employee. It was all thanks to his boss. It was Gao Zhan, the original owner, who developed the company. Everyone had heard that this behind-the-scenes boss was a mysterious figure, and no one had seen his true face for more than a year. Shen Yuan used the excuse that the boss, as the founder of Yunsheng, had other important matters to attend to, so it was inconvenient for him to show up. He walked up to Jiyu Hanzhou, wished Jiyu Qingzhou a happy birthday, and presented him with a sports car. This was a gift from the behind-the-scenes boss, who asked him to deliver it. Everyone was shocked, seeing that this car was worth over 8 million. That behind-the-scenes boss was indeed very generous. Some people thought that Jiyu Hanzhou's own cars were worth around 50 million, so this was nothing special. Jiyu Hanzhou accepted the gift and politely asked Shen Yuan to thank his boss for him. He had also been following Yunsheng for quite some time. He thought Yunsheng had unlimited potential. He wanted to know if he had the honor to discuss cooperation matters with their founder in person. Shen Yuan smiled and nodded, saying that since Jiyu Hanzhou personally invited him, he could not refuse. However, his boss had a peculiar temperament, so he needed to consult his boss to get a definite meeting time. Jiyu Hanzhou nodded, saying it was no problem. He could wait. Just then, someone interrupted. It was Lu Mingfeng, who also had high hopes for Yunsheng, so he wanted Shen Yuan to ask for him as well. Shen Yuan took Lu Myungfeng's business card and agreed, saying he would consult his boss and give both of them a specific answer as soon as possible. Jiyu Hanzhou was displeased, feeling that with Lu Myungfeng's ambition, he always had to compete for everything. Lu Mingfeng smiled and replied that good things always had to be fought for. Whether Jiyu Hanzhou could outcompete him depended on Jiyu Hanzhou's strength. Ji Hanzhou told Lu Mingfeng that Pei Suyue had been staying at the Ji family home these days, so did not Lu Mingfeng worry. Lu Mingfeng directly exposed Ji Hanzhou, saying he was raising a substitute at home. He mocked Ji Hanzhou, thinking that Ji Hanzhou was so busy with his little affair that he had already forgotten about Pei Suyue. Lu Mingfeng sneered at Ji Hanzhou, saying a substitute was just a substitute and could never compare to Pei Suyue. He told Lu Mingfeng not to use Su Yichen to mock him. The two of them stared at each other with eyes like knives. Shen Yuan, who was standing nearby, was startled and quickly sent a message to Su Yichen, telling him to come and watch this drama. The two CEOs were about to fight over their white moonlight. Su Yichen told him to just enjoy the show. Shen Yuan agreed and asked where Su Yichen was. Only then did he find out that Su Yichen was with Pei Suyue. Su Yichen looked at Pei Suyue and asked if he was not going to stop the two CEOs from fighting over him. Pei Suyue thought that it would be better for Su Yichen if the two of them ended up hurting each other. Su Yichen's heart skipped a beat. Why did Pei Suyue understand what he wanted more than Shen Yuan did? Pei Suyue raised his hand and touched Su Yichen's hand. He asked Su Yichen if he could get Su Yichen and his family out of the Ji family safely, would he get a reward? Su Yichen hesitated for a moment, then suddenly scratched Pei Suyue's palm, making Pei Suyue excited. Su Yichen smiled and told him to go ahead. He wanted to see if Pei Shiji could handle it. Pei Suyue agreed, as he had finally waited for Su Yichen to relent. After Pei Suyue left, Su Yichen chose some desserts alone. Lu Mingchen walked over and mocked Su Yichen, saying he was really giving Ji Hanzhou a lot of face. At Ji Qingzhou's birthday banquet, Su Yichen actually showed up wearing clothes without even a brand. He scolded Su Yichen. He sneered that Su Yichen must have spent all his effort trying to please Ji Hanzhou and climb into his bed. Su Yichen naturally denied it, feeling speechless. What had he done to offend Lu Mingchen? Why did Lu Mingchen always seem to dislike him? Lu Mingchen asked Su Yichen if he had prepared a gift for Ji Qingzhou. Su Yichen rolled his eyes internally. Of course, he had gifted Ji Qingzhou a sports car. What had Lu Mingchen given? Although the money he spent was all earned by Yun Sheng from Ji Hanzhou, he was not going to tell Lu Mingchen that. He simply said he had not come empty-handed and that he would give Ji Qingzhou a gift. Lu Mingchen pressed further, asking what kind of low-grade gift he had prepared. It turned out that Su Yichen had personally made a red string bracelet. Lu Mingchen immediately shoved Su Yichen, mocking him for daring to present such a shabby gift. He sneered at how cheap it was and questioned how Su Yichen could even think of giving it as a gift. At that moment, Ji Qingzhou happened to come over and caught Su Yichen, frowning as he asked Lu Mingchen what Su Yichen had done to provoke him this time. Of course, Lu Mingchen complained, saying that Su Yichen had come to Ji Qingzhou's birthday banquet and prepared nothing but a handmade red string bracelet. What kind of trashy gift was that? How could someone be so shameless? Ji Qingzhou stepped in front of Su Yichen and tried to calm Lu Mingchen down. He asked why Lu Mingchen was getting so angry at Su Yichen. Su Yichen did not have much money anyway, so why would he care about his gift? Su Yichen thought about it. If there was anyone in the Ji family who treated him well before he came with Pei Suyue, it was actually Ji Qingzhou, the unruly playboy. Although Ji Qingzhou often spoke harshly, his actions had defended Su Yichen on several occasions. Su Yichen felt satisfied in his heart and did not want to argue further. He had even gone out of his way to gift Ji Qingzhou a sports car. Ji Qingzhou turned around with Lu Mingchen, giving Su Yichen a look. He said they were going to check out the birthday surprise Lu Mingchen had prepared, so Su Yichen should just stay out of the way and not be an eyesore. Meanwhile, Pei Suyue walked toward Ji Hanzhou. On the other side, Lu Mingfeng saw him and was overjoyed. He finally got to meet Pei Suyue. Pei Suyue smiled and replied that they had only communicated online about work before, so he had also been looking forward to meeting Lu Mingfeng in person. Lu Mingfeng smiled and said it was his honor. He had heard that Pei Suyue had been staying at the Ji residence recently, so he told Pei Suyue to let him know if there was anything inconvenient. Pei Suyue naturally declined. Just then, Pei Suyue noticed someone not far away causing trouble for Su Yichen. They were mocking Su Yichen. Pei Suyue could not help but step forward, but Lu Mingfeng stopped him. Lu Mingfeng dismissed it, thinking it was just a stand-in. Not worth Su Yu personally taking action. She came to help Su Yu handle it. If Su Yichen still has any sense of dignity, he should take the hint and leave the Ji family on his own. Su Yu gave a fake smile and said, "Thank you, Lu Mingfeng," while reminding her that manipulation is fine, but there should be no coercion or personal harm. Lu Mingfeng nodded. She naturally would not resort to personal harm. But why not coercion? Su Yu made an excuse, saying she had already tried that, but Su Yichen would not take the bait. Lu Mingfeng turned away, looking thoughtful. Actually, if she truly wanted to remove Ji Hanzhou from this competition, she should keep Su Yichen as a pawn. But she did not want to see Su Yu unhappy. Besides, Lu Mingchen also had a grudge against Su Yichen, so she wanted to see what kind of person Su Yichen really was. Meanwhile, Su Yichen was still pretending to be pitiful, secretly pleased. He wanted to make Ji Yu Hanzhou lose face as much as possible, so that Ji Yu Hanzhou would give up on him sooner. At that moment, Lu Mingfeng walked over, and the two people bullying Su Yichen quickly fled. Su Yichen thanked Lu Mingfeng for stepping in to help earlier. However, Lu Mingfeng interrupted him, saying he simply did not want anyone disturbing his private conversation time. Su Yichen frowned. Lu Mingfeng seemed even harder to deal with than Ji Yu Hanzhou. It was better to keep his distance. Thinking this, he turned to leave, but Lu Mingfeng grabbed him. Lu Mingfeng told him to raise his head, feeling displeased. Su Yichen was so young, yet he acted so timidly and servilely. What was the point of pleasing those people? How was he any different from those men who only knew how to curry favor with others? At that moment, Lu Mingfeng noticed a mark on Su Yichen's face. Its position was exactly the same as Su Yu's. He found it very strange. Su Yichen and Su Yu did not look particularly alike, so why did he feel an inexplicable sense of familiarity with Su Yichen? He asked Su Yichen for his name and the specific characters. Su Yichen answered, and Lu Mingfeng seemed lost in thought. Back when his younger brother was born, their parents had debated for a long time between two characters for his name, one meaning pure and untainted and the other meaning noble and sharp. Who would have thought that despite choosing the latter, it would lead to such an unfortunate outcome? Lu Mingfeng coldly remarked that he had seen plenty of people who used their looks and bodies to take shortcuts. Su Yichen should understand that stealing what does not belong to you never ends well. Su Yichen felt uncomfortable and tugged at his sleeve, unsure of what Lu Mingfeng wanted to say by coming to him today. Lu Mingfeng leaned closer to Su Yichen and said he could help him leave the Ji Yu family. Su Yichen froze. Did I hear that right? Su Yichen was supposed to be Su Su's fiancé. What was going on? Wasn't Su Yichen and Su Yu supposed to be rivals? Wasn't Su Su's fiancé supposed to be President Ji Yu? Why was it him? Su Yichen took the microphone and smiled. Hello everyone, I am Su Yichen. I believe everyone is already quite familiar with me. So, I won't spend much time on self-introduction today. In short, welcome to all new and old friends, as well as elders, to my engagement party with Su Shu. Su Yichen and Pei Su Shu held hands, and Ji Yu Qingzhou was the first to react. He dared not point it out, and Su Yichen just looked at the stage. As you can see, Qingzhou, Su Shu and I are together. I know there have been many misunderstandings about this engagement party. But it is okay, today I am here to clear up those misunderstandings. This is my engagement party with Pei Su Shu, and it has nothing to do with anyone else. The information circulating outside is all false. Su Shu is mine. Mine alone. As soon as these words were spoken, it caused a huge stir. Ji Yu Hanzhou clenched his fists tightly, his eyes filled with blood, staring at the two of them. Why is this happening? She desperately needed an explanation. Zhao Qi and Shuanglu were shocked and finally could not help but stand up and shout angrily. Su Yichen, what nonsense are you talking about? Who would believe you? Suxu's fiancé is Ji Yu Zhu, not you. Su Yichen tilted his head slightly. Shuanglu smiled. When did Su Shu ever publicly announce that her fiancé was Ji Yu Zhu? It is all your wishful thinking and wild guesses. Since it is wild guesses, it is misinformation. Then he handed the microphone to Pei Su Shu. Su Shu, you speak. After taking the microphone, Pei Su Shu first spoke in an apologetic tone. I am sorry everyone. Han Zhou and I have always been just friends, nothing more. As for why Han Zhou would mistakenly think that we were engaged, I do not know either, and I apologize for the misunderstanding. The person I love has always been Su Yichen, and that has never changed. I have waited for him for many years. I returned to the country for Su Shu. I have been waiting for the chance to pursue Su Shu. Su Shu is not a substitute for anyone, not my father, and even less someone who can be casually discarded. She is my one and only, the moon I will always chase. She is the only love of my life, and I am honored to be her knight. Ji Yu Hanzhou stared intently at the two kissing on stage, blood rising in his throat, his face turning from pale to ashen. It was as if he was meeting Pei Su Shu for the first time, and at this moment, he understood the key details of the situation. I am sorry, it was just a friend's one-sided misunderstanding. Ji Yu Qingzhou grabbed his brother's wrist. Brother, do not be impulsive, maybe there is some misunderstanding here. Ji Yu Hanzhou turned his head, his bloodshot eyes startling Ji Yu Qingzhou. What kind of misunderstanding would make someone change their fiancé? Pei Su Shu looked at everyone. My lover has always been Su Yichen, and my fiancé has always been Su Yichen. Regarding the misinformation spread by the internet and media, please stop spreading rumors. In the future, if there are any related rumors, I will pursue legal action without leniency. Today, for our engagement party, we have prepared many fine wines and dishes for everyone. I hope all the elders, friends, and media friends can enjoy. Finally, thank you all again for your blessings. Pei Su Shu held Su Yichen's hand tightly, her eyes slightly curved, expressing her feelings. Everyone expressed their gratitude. Amidst the congratulations and applause, Ji Yu Hanzhou trembled with anger. Pei Su Yue held Su Yichen's hand, picked up 2 glasses of red wine, and handed one to Su Yichen. Let us go, we should toast to them. Su Yichen gently held her hand. The elders of the elite circles, experienced and knowledgeable, despite their shock at today's events, maintained their composure and congratulated the newly engaged couple. Pei Suyue and Su Yichen made their rounds toasting, finally, reaching the table where Lu Zhongren sat. Lu Bating, usually calm and composed, had slightly reddened and moist eyes as he watched Su Yichen walk towards him with Pei Suyu's hand in his. His hands trembled slightly with emotion. Su Yichen looked at him in confusion. Lu Bating, with reddened eyes, looked at Su Yichen. His son was getting engaged, and as his biological father, he could only watch. The son he had finally found was now with someone else, and they had not even had the chance to make up for the love his youngest son had missed out on for over 20 years. Su Yichen, though puzzled, still responded with a generous smile. Thank you for your blessings, Chairman Lu. Huo Nanyuan's eyes were already moist. The Su Yichen standing before them now, handsome and dashing in his suit, was a far cry from the crying baby covered in blood calling for his mother. In their memories, their family had missed out on so many years of companionship and love. Tears streamed down Huo Nanyuan's face. Su Yichen took a clean tissue from his pocket and handed it to Huo Nanyuan. The young man's slender fingers held the tissue in front of him. Huo Nanyuan, slightly taken aback, took the tissue and wiped his tears. Thank you, Su Yichen said with a faint smile. Respecting women is the most basic etiquette. Huo Nanyuan, eyes slightly red, smiled and raised his glass. Congratulations on your engagement. Remember to invite the Lu family to the wedding. Su Yichen, polite yet firm, replied, my wedding with Susu will definitely include an invitation for you, Mrs. Lu. Hearing the reasoning in his youngest son's tone, Huo Nanyuan could not help but feel a deep sense of regret. He wanted so much to tell the young man in front of him that he was their child, hoping he would come home now. But a public place was not suitable for a reunion. The family suppressed their emotions, watching their youngest son standing before them, politely but distantly toasting them, the pain in their hearts palpable. Huo Nanyuan looked at Pei Suyue with a scrutinizing gaze. Do you truly love him? Pei Suyue was taken aback. He did not know why Huo Nanyuan would ask such a question, but no matter who asked, he would firmly say, I love him. Huo Nanyuan nodded lightly. Lu Mingfeng only glanced at Su Yichen. He was next. What should he say to Su Yichen? First, he should give his blessings, then ask how he has been lately, and finally apologize for what happened at the birthday party. Would this change Yichen's impression of him? Su Yichen gave him a cold glance and pulled Pei Suyue to another table. Lu Mianfeng's face turned pale instantly. Pei Suyue and Su Yichen actually bypassed him directly. His voice was soft, Su Yichen. Su Yichen turned to look at Lu Mingfeng. What does Mr. Lu want from me? In that moment, Lu Mingfeng was hurt by the coldness in his eyes. But he still gathered his courage, walked up to him, and said softly, why did not you toast me? Yichen's gentle and considerate nature must have missed him or accidentally ignored him. It was unintentional. He would not deliberately ignore him. Su Yichen's cold voice came. I can't smile at someone who has humiliated me repeatedly and hit me to the point of hospitalization. I can't believe Mr. Lu's blessings are sincere. Besides, Mr. Lu looks down on me, so let us skip the toast. He just quietly looked up at Lu Mingfeng, the coldness in his eyes clear. Lu Mingfeng was startled by this coldness. He gripped his wine glass tightly. I am sorry about what happened last time. Su Yichen felt that the Lu family was acting very strange today. Even the always proud Lu Mingfeng lowered his head to apologize. What kind of medicine did they take? I can't accept your apology, Su Yichen said with a faint, slightly mocking smile. He gently held Pei Suyu's hand, his tone much softer. Susu, let us go. Pei Suyue turned back with a provocative look at Lu Mingfeng. Lu Mingfeng was slightly startled by Pei Suyu's provocative and triumphant gaze. The hostility in Pei Suyu's eyes was not fake. He clearly saw him as a rival in love. Was that still the gentle and kind Susu he once knew? When they reached Jiyu Hanzhou's table, the others at the table laughed and said, President Jiyu, the newlyweds are here to toast you. Thanks to your matchmaking, they became a couple. But you are still single, or not you? This remark about being single completely struck a nerve with Jiyu Hanzhou. He stood up silently, startling everyone around him. Jiyu Qingzhou tugged at Jiyu Hanzhou's sleeve. Pei Suyue, holding Su Yichen's hand, stepped forward and raised her glass. President Jiyu, Susu and I would not have made it to this day without your help. This toast is for you. As soon as she finished speaking, Pei Suyue downed her drink in one go. Jiyu Hanzhou's face darkened as he stared at Pei Suyue. You have been lying to me all along. Pei Suyue responded calmly. President Jiyu, what do you mean by that? When did I ever lie to you? Jiyu Hanzhou furrowed his brows tightly, looking at the familiar yet unfamiliar smile before him. He found it both glaring and fake. Pei Suyu's tone was impeccably polite. President Jiyu, this is an engagement banquet, a public occasion. You should mind your image. Jiyu Hanzhou, of course, did not want to make a scene in such a public setting. He kept a cold expression as he downed his drink in one go. Fixing his gaze on Su Yichen, he poured himself another glass and drank it all again. Ji Hanzhou's eyes were filled with suppressed emotions. Su Yichen, with a fawning smile, seemed to revel in his humble love for her. That image still lingered in his mind. And now, she was putting on a cold, indifferent act as if she did not love him anymore. Who was she trying to fool? Let us go. Pei Suyue held Su Yichen's hand and moved on to toast at another table. At this table sat the Pei family's business partners and executives. As the two sat down, everyone raised their glasses in celebration. Xiao Pei, this is not very considerate of you, one of the uncles teased, half jokingly and half reproachfully. We have all been waiting to drink at your wedding, but you did not even tell us who you were getting engaged to. We all got it wrong. Pei Suyue responded with a polite smile. I just wanted to give everyone a little surprise. You young people really know how to keep us guessing. One of the older executives took a sip of his drink and looked at Su Yichen with a meaningful smile, his eyes filled with a mix of emotions. Thank you, Director Zhao, Su Yichen said softly, clinking glasses with him. Director Zhao looked a bit surprised that Su Yichen knew who he was. Leaning closer to Pei Suyue, Su Yichen whispered, I need to use the restroom. Stay here and look after the guests. Pei Suyue, finally able to publicly acknowledge their relationship, did not want to leave Su Yichen's side for even a moment. Su, I will go too. Su Yichen gently patted her head. Be good. Stay here and take care of the guests. I will be right back. The people at the table watched the couple's affectionate exchange, and a few of them blushed at the sight. Su Yichen comes out of the bathroom and turns on the faucet to wash her hands. She lifts her head, catching a glimpse of Ji Hanzhou in the mirror, who has appeared behind her at some point and is staring at her menacingly. Fortunately, Su Yichen has a strong mental fortitude and is not scared. After washing her hands, she prepares to leave without acknowledging Ji Hanzhou. As she passes by Ji Hanzhou, her wrist is tightly grabbed by the man. Su Yichen's eyes remain calm and indifferent as she looks at him. Ji Hanzhou, seeing her cold and indifferent expression, angrily questions her, Tell me, what was the deal with today's engagement party? Su Yichen raises an eyebrow slightly, Of course, it was just as you saw, Mr. Ji. Su and I are deeply in love. By the way, we should thank you for bringing us together. Ji Hanzhou's anger flares up, Su Yichen, do not think I do not know. You did this on purpose. You used underhanded means to seduce Su. How could you be so shameless? Su Yichen, if this is your way of getting back at me, of playing hard to get to rekindle my interest, well, you have succeeded. Ji Hanzhou leans down and forcefully grabs Su Yichen's waist. Su Yichen's eyes turn fierce, and she knees him in the groin, then punches him hard in the face. Ji Hanzhou's nose starts bleeding, and he gasps for breath. Su Yichen, you hit me. Su Yichen's gaze is icy. If you keep acting like a dog in heat around me, I will beat you until even your parents won't recognize you. Ji Hanzhou looks at the unfamiliar Su Yichen, stunned and incredulous. Su Yichen, how did you become like this? I have always been like this, Su Yichen replies. Ji Hanzhou's voice is extremely cold and trembling slightly. You are just pretending to be this cold to get back at me. You really want to be with me again, do not you? This engagement with Su is just a way to get back at me, right? Su Yichen is completely baffled by his logic. I have already told you, I am engaged to him because I love him. It has nothing to do with you. Ji Hanzhou's eyes are bloodshot with disbelief. Do you think I would believe that? The way you used to love me is still fresh in my mind. How could someone just stop loving like that? Su Yichen firmly states, I do not care if you believe it or not. The fact is, Su is my fiancé. I hope you can stay away from him in the future. Ji Hanzhou was incredulous. What do you mean, literally, Su Yichen said, then turned to leave. Stop right there. Su Yichen, explain yourself clearly. Ji Hanzhou immediately grabbed Su Yichen's sleeve, staring at him intently. The next second, Ji Hanzhou was pushed away, staggering back a step. Brother, why are not you ready yet? I have been waiting for you for a long time. He glanced at Ji Hanzhou and smiled. So it is Brother Hanzhou. What are you talking about? What needs to be clarified? Ji Hanzhou's eyes widened as he asked. Su, I ask you, was this engagement party a scam from the beginning? It is not a scam, Pei Suyue said calmly. Haven't I already told you? I have always been waiting for you to end things with Su. I also said that at the engagement party, I would announce to the world who my fiancé is. But I never said that person was you. From beginning to end, it was just your wishful thinking. Ji Hanzhou looked at him, his eyes filled with infinite disappointment and anger. I always thought you were gentle and polite, so I have always taken good care of you. I never thought you would be so hypocritical. You wanted to have it both ways, you wanted to be with He Shangchang. Now that things have gone wrong, instead of finding fault with yourself, you blame others everywhere. Pei Suyue tore off his gentle and kind mask, almost glaring at Ji Hanzhou. From the moment I returned to the country, my initial goal was Su. At the Ji family, every night I would sneak into Su's room and sleep with Su. I have to thank Brother Hanzhou for providing the venue for me and Su to date. Ji Hanzhou's face grew darker and darker. The two of them had already gotten together right under his nose. From beginning to end, he had been kept in the dark like a fool. You two were already seeing each other at the Gu family. Gu Hanzhou's face turned increasingly ashen. Pei Suyue smiled contentedly and added another blow. On brother Hanzhou's bed in the master bedroom, I once. Pei Suyu's tone grew gentler, but his words were like knives, each one cutting into Gu Hanzhou's heart. Su Su looks adorable when he cries. President Gu, you probably have not seen that, right? After Pei Suyue finished speaking, Su Yichen grabbed his hand and whispered, what are you talking about? Pei Suyue held Su Yichen's hand, his voice gentle. I am sorry, brother. Did I upset you? The two whispered to each other, while the angry and furious Gu Hanzhou. Pei Suyue held Su Yichen's hand and chuckled. Brother, let us not waste time here. Let us go back. Gu Hanzhou sneered coldly. Do you think that by clinging to Su Su, you are very powerful? I am telling you, you are nothing. You are just the same as before. They are just playthings, right? Pei Suyu's gaze turned cold and she was about to step forward. However, the next moment, a tall and imposing man in a suit and leather shoes swiftly walked in and landed a heavy punch on the other side of Gu Hanzhou's face. Gu Hanzhou, watch your mouth. If I ever hear you badmouthing Su Su again, I will make sure you regret it. Everyone stared at the sudden turn of events, momentarily stunned. Su Yuchen stepped forward and said, President Liu, there is no need to joke like this. Liu Mingfeng looked at Su Yuchen, his gaze conflicted, wanting to explain but unsure of what to say. I am telling the truth. I am your biological brother. You are the young master of the Liu family who has been lost for over 20 years. Su Yuchen froze in his tracks. President Liu, there is no need to humiliate me like this. Your brother is Liu Mingchen. Everyone knows that. No, Mingchen was adopted from the orphanage by our parents. You are the biological child of the Liu family who was lost for over 20 years. Liu Mingfeng looked at Su Yuchen, his eyes full of pain and affection. Su Yuchen furrowed his brows. I only have one father and mother. I do not have any brothers. Even if I did, they abandoned me. Since they abandoned me, why should I endure this? Su Yuchen held Pei Suyu's hand gently and said, let us go. Liu Mingfeng silently grabbed Su Yuchen's wrist. Let us meet at the cafe tomorrow. I have something important to discuss. Can we? Su Yuchen curled his lips. President Liu, what else do you want to say? Something important. Liu Mingfeng glanced at Pei Suyue. Make sure to come alone, alright? Liu Mianfeng's eyes already held a hint of pleading. Su Yuchen could not understand what Liu Mingfeng was up to, but after hesitating for a moment, he nodded. Su Yuchen and Pei Suyue walked hand in hand, past Liu Bating and Huo Nanyuan. The two could not help but call out, Chen Chen. Su Yuchen coldly ignored them and walked past. Madam Liu, we have not even exchanged greetings yet. Gu Qingzhou went to the restroom to find Gu Hanzhou, only to see him washing blood off his face. He was startled. Brother, who hit you? Gu Hanzhou wiped his face, unable to accept such betrayal. Su Yuchen loved him so deeply, yet pathetic. Even when signing the blood contract, he was still crying and begging. How long has it been, and he is already with someone else? Brother, this is Su Su's answer to you. Gu Qingzhou could not believe it. Su Su has this ability. How did he not know? Gu Hanzhou did not hear the people around him at all. He was lost in his own emotions. Sometimes it was Su Yuchen's gentle, loving gaze, and sometimes it was Su Yuchen's cold, icy stare. Gu Hanzhou's voice was filled with hatred and tears. Gu Qingzhou looked at him in shock. Brother, what is wrong with you? After a long time, Gu Hanzhou finally turned on the faucet and haphazardly wiped the blood and tears from his face. Should we go back? The banquet is not over yet. Leaving early is not good, right? Gu Qingzhou looked at his swaying brother and reached out to support him, but Gu Hanzhou pushed him away. If you want to stay, go ahead. Otherwise, why stay here and be laughed at? But leaving in the middle is even more laughable. Gu Qingzhou muttered. What did you say? Gu Hanzhou's cold eyes narrowed. Gu Qingzhou immediately backed down. He supported his brother. I will go back with you. After the guests left in the evening, they returned to the villa and lay on the bed together, browsing today's news. The media had already started reporting on our situation. I have also had the PR control the online comments. This won't have too much of an impact on you, brother. Su Yuchen looked at the comments with a hint of a smile in his eyes. Although this can temporarily stop the rumors, it can't stop what they think. Pei Suyue smiled and said, Brother, you are so capable. You must have a solution. Don't mess around. Su Yuchen gently patted his hand. Pei Suyue smiled and blinked his right eye, his seductive gaze conveying a sense of desire. He stared straight at Su Su, who was wearing white silk pajamas. Brother, let us not talk business. The moonlight is perfect. Let us play a fun game. He looked at Su Yuchen lying obediently beneath him. Brother, let us play this. Su Yuchen raised an eyebrow slightly. On whom? Of course, on you, brother. Pei Suyue smiled. Today is our engagement day. Brother, let me indulge just this once. At 2 in the morning, Pei Suyue looked at Su Yuchen's tired expression and could not bear to torment her any longer. Brother, go to sleep first. We will talk about tomorrow's matters tomorrow. Su Yuchen beckoned him with a finger. Come here and hold me while we sleep. Pei Suyue always listened to Su Yuchen. All right, wife. Su Yuchen responded with a hum. What did you call me? Pei Suyue walked over and squatted in front of him, obediently repeating, wife. Can't I call you that, but we are already engaged. Of course you can. Su Yuchen gazed at Pei Suyu's eyes with infinite tenderness. Because I love you, so no matter what you call me, I will be happy. Pei Suyue was overjoyed. She climbed onto the bed with a smile and tightly embraced Su Yuchen, as if holding a precious treasure. In the darkness, the two leaned on each other and fell into a deep sleep. The next day, in a private room at the cafe, the Liu family waited anxiously and solemnly for the person they were meeting. Liu Mingfeng comforted them. Mom, Dad, he will definitely come. No parents could remain calm when they are about to meet their biological son who has been missing for years. Under the family's expectant and excited gazes, Su Yuchen arrived at the private room with Pei Suyue. Liu Mingfeng immediately stood up to greet him. You are here. He turned to look at Pei Suyue and frowned slightly. We would like to speak with you alone. The implication was that they hoped Pei Suyue would leave. Su Yuchen held Pei Suyu's hand and replied coldly, Susu is my fiancé. My matters are her matters. There is nothing she can't know. If Mr. Liu cannot accept Susu's presence, then I have no interest in Mr. Liu's affairs. Liu Mianfeng's expression stiffened. He glanced at Pei Suyue, then turned to his parents. Finally, he said, please, have a seat. The two sat down hand in hand. I wonder, what is the reason the Liu family sought me out today? Based on the hospital's paternity test, it can be confirmed that you are my biological son, Liu Bating. Your real name is Liu Chen. You were stolen by a nanny over 20 years ago. During our search for you, we were deceived by those people and believed you were dead. But what we did not know was that you had been sold to Chen Chang. Half a month ago, we tracked down Chen Chang and discovered the truth about what happened back then. Liu Bating explained everything to Su Yuchen in detail. Su Yuchen listened intently. Liu Bating spoke while lowering his head to look at the paternity test report in his hand. His pupils contracted as he stared intently at the test results. The family cautiously observed his expression. We also have a lot of other documents here, like your birth certificate, childhood photos, and toys, as well as information about the nanny and her accomplices involved in the case back then. They are already in prison. We can show you the evidence of their crimes as well. Su Yichen looked at the documents, his expression unnervingly calm and indifferent. Then, with a detached question, he left the family stunned and speechless. Chen, you are our biological son. Now that your mother knows you are alive, I am truly so happy that you are still alive and well in this world. We just want to bring you home. Su Yichen stared at the paternity test report on the table, his face devoid of any expression, though his heart was in turmoil. Pei Suyue held Su Yichen's hand. Su Yichen turned his head to look at Pei Suyue and gave her a reassuring smile, as if to say he was fine. Then, he turned his head back. He looked at everyone present and said, these documents. Are you sure you are not fabricating them to deceive me? For instance, creating fake information and documents to trick Liu Mingchen. Liu Bating and Huo Nanyuan explained, Chen, we would never deceive you. These documents are all legally verified. If you do not believe us, we can do another blood test. Su Yichen stared at the documents. What about the samples sent to the testing agency? How did you get them from me? Liu Mingfeng, in a low voice, replied, at the birthday party. I pulled out a strand of your hair while Jiyu Hanzhou was not paying attention and used it as a sample. Su Yichen roughly understood what had happened. So, what made you suspect? That I was your son. What drove you to secretly take my hair as a sample for testing? Liu Bating's eyes reddened as he glanced reproachfully at Liu Mingfeng. Doctor, Shu was treating your condition, and we noticed a distinctive red birthmark on your waist. That birthmark is exactly the same as Chen's. Here, we also have your childhood photos. Huo Nanyuan handed a childhood photo to Su Yichen. Su Yichen looked at the photo. It showed a baby smiling happily, with a distinctive red birthmark on its waist. Su Yichen could not help but reach for his own waist. The red birthmark was indeed identical. He really was the biological son of Liu Bating and Huo Nanyuan. Huo Nanyuan then took out two identical golden lock pendants. Chen, do you recognize this golden pendant? I personally designed it for you when you were born. It is. I was the one who put it on you. Su Yichen knew about the gold locket that belonged to Uncle Lao. The real one was the one he often wore. Back then, Mom Su Shuijin always said it was not worth much, and Chen Chang believed her. So he never had any designs on that gold locket. One year, he angered Chen Chang. Chen Chang grabbed him by the neck and dunked him into the water. When Chen Chang saw the gold locket look nice, he snatched it from him. He cried and begged Chen Chang to give it back, but Chen Chang mocked him for being immature. Su Shuijin held the young Su Yichen and said, be good, Chen. It is just a locket. It does not matter. Your safety is the most important thing. Don't ever provoke him, or you might lose your life, and that would be a real loss. Back then, he learned a lesson from this. Without absolute strength and power, trying to fight against someone much stronger than yourself is nothing short of self-destruction. Only by continuously making yourself stronger, possessing strength that matches your enemy, can you turn the tables beautifully. Su Yichen held the gold locket tightly. This locket is indeed mine. Huo Nanyuan sat beside Su Yichen, tears streaming from his eyes. Chen, do you believe us now? Su Yichen gently put down the locket. Yes, I believe you. With so much evidence in front of him, even if Su Yichen did not want to believe it, he could not deny it. He asked, so, what about Lu Mingchen? Lu Bating sighed and explained, back then, we thought you were gone. Your departure was a huge blow to us. So we went to the orphanage and adopted a child born on the same year, month, and day as you, as a way to cope. I see, Su Yichen said flatly. The same year, month, and day, huh, so Lu Mingchen's birthday party is actually my birthday too. As Su Yichen spoke, he chuckled bitterly and mocked himself. And yet, on my birthday, I was beaten by my biological brother so badly I ended up in the hospital. Ha, is not that just ridiculous? Lu Mingfeng gazed at the young man before him with guilt and remorse. Chen, it was my fault. It was my actions in the past that hurt you. If you hate me, you can take revenge on me however you want. I won't complain. I just hope you will come home. Su Yichen's eyes reddened slightly as he asked, come home, is that what you want? Lu Mingfeng cautiously replied. Chen, come home. Okay. Su Yichen stared at the man in the suit before him. His mind was filled with memories of the first time Lu Mingfeng met him, standing high and mighty, accusing him and condescendingly offering him charity. This man before him had once forced him to kneel and apologize to Lu Mingchen without asking for the truth, ignored his pleas for help, and beat him until his nose bled profusely. He was treated at the hospital. But this very person is here, full of guilt and remorse, telling himself that he is his biological brother, hoping he can come home. Su Yichen coldly said, that is no longer my home. My name is not Lu Chen. I am Su Yichen. I have parents. They are Luo Qingfeng and Su Shuowan. They raised me and made me who I am today. The grace of raising me is greater than the grace of giving birth. I will not leave them for any reason. Since the Lu family already has Lu Mingchen, why would they need another Lu Chen? Thank you for the hospitality, but I have other matters to attend to. Chen or Nanyuan anxiously changed his tone as he stood up, tears uncontrollably falling from the corners of his eyes. Even if you know we are your biological parents, you still do not want to come home. Su Yichen took a deep breath and continued, I am sorry. Lu Bating quickly supported his wife. Chen, your mom and I know we missed so many years of your life. We also know we can't force you to be closer to us than your adoptive parents. We do not expect anything. We only hope that you can visit the Lu family often, even if it is just to have a meal or chat. Let us see you. That would be enough for us. Lu Bating, with red eyes, continued, we are also very grateful to them. After all, they raised you. Lu Bating's words were full of concessions. He held his wife tightly, while Nanyuan's tears kept falling as he stared at Su Yichen. Chen, think it over. We are not in a hurry. There is no need to think it over. His attitude was resolute. Lu Mingfeng looked up at Su Yichen. Chen, is it because of Mingchen that you do not want to come home? Su Yichen shifted his gaze to Lu Mingfeng's face. Mr. Lu, do not you think it is ridiculous to say that, because of Lu Mingchen? Why do not you say it is because of you? Lu Mingfeng felt as if he was being pierced by 1,000 arrows. His heart seemed to bleed. Chen, I apologize for what I did to you in the past. If you choose not to come home because of my past actions, you can take any revenge on me. Even if you do not want to acknowledge me as your brother, I accept that. Mom and Dad just want to bring you home. You can ignore me, but at least consider them. They miss you very much. Su Yichen looked at Lu Mingfeng, his eyes slightly red. You got one thing right. I loathe you, Mr. Lu. Why do you have to be my biological brother? Every time I think of you, I remember how you, for the sake of your dear brother Lu Mingchen, accused me of stealing his things without any evidence, forced me to kneel to him, and beat me until I bled. I can never forget those things. The more Su Yichen spoke, the more Lu Mingfeng felt his heart being torn apart. Chen, I am sorry for all those things. I apologize. You can hit me as much as you want until you are satisfied. I won't fight back. Su Yichen sneered, hit you? Do you think I am like you? I despise your condescending tone, your high and mighty attitude every time you see me, as if I am some shameless dirty thing. No, Chen, if I had known you were my biological brother, I would never have treated you that way. Lu Mingfeng's eyes were filled with tears, his whole body trembling. Su Yichen laughed, so, Mr. Lu, you mean if I were not your biological brother? Younger brother, let us assume I am just Su Yichen. Then all the slander, criticism, and accusations I endured back then were all deserved. Moreover, President Lu, you would not have lowered yourself to apologize to me, right? Lu Mingfeng's face turned pale, and he weakly dropped his hand. There is no such assumption, Chen. You are my younger brother. Just answer me, yes or no. Su Yichen stared straight at him. Lu Mingfeng slowly said, yes. Su Yichen sneered mockingly. Lu Mingfeng gently closed his eyes. I am selfish, I am a self-serving person. In my eyes, only the people I care about matter. My interests, my family's interests, the interests of those I care about, are above everything else. Chen, whether you hate me or resent me, I accept it. All of this is because you are my younger brother. Su Yichen chuckled softly, his eyes cold. That is why I am different from you. If I had grown up under your protection, perhaps I too could have comfortably enjoyed your favor and all of this. But unfortunately, I did not. I grew up in darkness, walking on thin ice alone, struggling to survive until now. I once hid in a trash can to avoid debt collectors. I once begged like a grandson, pleading everywhere, just to survive. I was the one crushed and exploited by capital. To escape all of this, I made efforts you can't even imagine. That is why I sympathize with those who, like me, are trapped in the mud. And I cannot empathize with someone as noble as President Liu. The identity of a legitimate son of the Liu family easily overturns all the suffering and hardships I have endured over the years. Why should that be? Su Yichen gradually calmed down. He took a deep breath and continued, so, if you want me to return to the Liu family and play the role of the young master, it is impossible. I am not Liu Mingchen, not a delicate flower raised in a greenhouse. I do not need your love and care, nor do I need your compensation and protection. Even if I am alone, I can live well. Su Yichen calmly looked at them, then took Pei Suyu's hand and said softly, Susu, let us go. With that, the two turned and left. Chen, or perhaps Nan Yu, snapped back to reality, tears streaming uncontrollably. In his haste, he accidentally twisted his foot. Lu Mingfeng supported his fallen mother. His mother carefully, or perhaps Nan Yu, watched helplessly as Su Yichen and Pei Suyu's figures grew farther and farther away. Nan Yu turned his head and looked at Lu Mingfeng, raising his hand to slap him across the face. Lu Mingfeng, you actually forced your younger brother to kneel and apologize. What a great elder brother you are. Did you hear what Chen said? Chen hates you. He despises you. Did you hear that? I heard it. I am sorry, mother, Lu Mingfeng said, lowering his head, his heart filled with overwhelming regret, as if it would drown him. His pale hand trembled uncontrollably. I am sorry. I should apologize to Chen. He hates me. He does not want to come home. Nan Yu was on the verge of losing his sanity. Lu Mingfeng, I do not care what you do. You must make Chen forgive you. You must bring him back. Lu Bating held his wife, comforting her constantly. Mingfeng, until you bring Chen back home, you should not come back either, Lu Bating said in a steady voice. Lu Miangfeng's face turned pale. All right, I will find a way to bring Chen home. Lu Mingfeng grabbed his suit jacket and ran out. He caught up with Su Yichen and Pei Suyu's car, pounding on the window forcefully. Chen, can I talk to you alone? The car door slowly opened, but the person who stepped out was not Su Yichen, it was Pei Suyue. Lu Mingfeng froze when he saw him. Brother hates you. He does not want to see you. Why do you insist on forcing your love? Pei Suyu smiled faintly and retorted, standing firmly in front of the car window, blocking Lu Mingfeng from seeing Su Yichen inside. Lu Mingfeng's expression grew colder. Pei Suyu, move aside. Don't force me to act. Pei Suyu raised an eyebrow lightly. Act? Where would you hit me? You would better beat me until I am covered in blood and can't move. That way, brother will feel even more sorry for me, and I will hate you even more. Then you can push him further and further away. Lu Mingfeng stared at Pei Suyu's eyes, noticing a storm brewing within them. He was shocked to see this side of the gentle Pei Suyu. Disbelieving, he asked, what are you saying? Pei Suyu's gaze turned sharp, his smile cold. Lu Mingfeng's expression darkened. I am Chen's elder brother. You are Chen's fiancé. That makes me your elder brother too. Even if Chen does not acknowledge me, we are bound by blood. Closer than you are. Pei Suyu's jealousy spiraled out of control, making him lose his rationality. Brother will never forgive you. Never, ever. I am the one brother loves most, the only one he will ever love in this life. Brother's gaze should always be on me. No one can take his attention away from me, not even his own family. Lu Mingfeng's mind went blank. Pei Suyu, all your gentleness all along has been fake. How can you call it fake? The gentle mask I have worn for so many years has already become a part of my life. He tilted his head slightly. Lu Mingfeng, I do not care who you are, whether you are his elder brother or not. Anyone who tries to compete with me for brother's attention is my enemy. Lu Mingfeng's fists clenched, his face darkened. Does Chen know you are like this? Pei Suyu's sharp gaze softened into a crescent-shaped smile. Of course not. Brother is the most wonderful, most beautiful person in this world. I would never let him know about any of this. Aren't you afraid I will tell Chen? Lu Mingfeng's face grew darker. Pei Suyu laughed. He would not believe you. Lu Mingfeng, he despises you enough as it is. How could he possibly believe anything you say? Lu Mingfeng's face turned ashen. I do not want to waste words with you. Move aside. I just want to say a few words to Chen Chen. Pei Su-yu's smile vanished instantly. What if I say no? As long as I am here, you won't see him, nor will you get to say a single word to him. Chen, I did not mean to do this. It was Pei Su-yue who stopped me, preventing me from seeing you. I was the one who asked Su-su to do this. Su Yu-chen said calmly. Lu Mingfeng looked at his indifferent brother without error. Su Yu-chen sat in the car, frowning slightly. Mr. Lu, I have made myself very clear. There is no need for you to persist. Lu Mingfeng took a step forward, wanting to speak to Su Yu-chen more closely, but was stopped by Pei Su-yue. He does not like you getting too close. Lu Mingfeng said humbly. Chen, big brother just wants to talk to you. Su Yu-chen interrupted impatiently. I have already made myself clear. What else is there to talk about? Don't call me Chen. Su Yu-chen did not like this entanglement with Lu Mingfeng. He said coldly, I am not Lu Chen. I am Su Yu-chen. Please, Mr. Lu, do not call me the wrong name again. Su, come over, let us drive away. Su Yu-chen said lightly. Okay. Pei Su-yue was happy because Su had changed her name. She looked at Lu Mingfeng proudly and boastfully, as if showing off to other dogs. See, Su only likes me and likes me the most. Outside the car window, Lu Mingfeng, in his suit, kept banging on the window. Su Yu-chen turned his eyes away, looking elsewhere. Lu Mingfeng stared straight at the car, making a call. I want you to check the license plate number of Zhang Xinghao, car. Lu Mingfeng hung up the phone, his hands falling weakly to his sides. Inside the car, Pei Su-yue played a song that Su Yu-chen loved. While driving, she smiled lightly. Brother, today we are going to Kui Ziyuan. It is Australian lobster. Right, I have already booked a table. Shall we go now? Su Yu-chen nodded in agreement. He stared out the window, lost in thought. Brother, tomorrow I have asked Yuan Ding to plant roses in our garden. Your favorite flower. Where do you think is the best place to plant them? Su Yu-chen leaned his head against the window, his thoughts drifting away. He snapped back to reality and turned to look at Pei Su-yue, slightly dazed. What is wrong? Pei Su-yue smiled gently, unbuckling Su Yu-chen's seatbelt and then gently kissed him. We have arrived, brother. Su Yu-chen came back to his senses. He took a deep breath and hugged Pei Su-yue tightly. I am sorry, Su, I was just lost in thought. Pei Su-yue's heart melted. She held Su Yu-chen in her arms. Brother, you never need to say sorry to me. Su Yu-chen said seriously. Su, we are equals. I was inattentive and indifferent to you just now. I was wrong. Pei Su-yue disagreed. Brother is always right. Su Yu-chen stroked Pei Su-yue's hair and said softly, don't you think so? Was I too heartless and cold when I rejected them today? No matter what you do, you always have your reasons. Su-yu, even if you agree to go back to Lu Jia and acknowledge your family, you are still right. Whatever you want to do, I will support you unconditionally, even if it is extreme, even if I do not want to. Su Yu-chen chuckled softly and said to Su-yu, your opinion matters just as much. She vaguely understood Su-yu's possessiveness toward her. She did not find it annoying. Instead, she loved this sense of exclusivity in Su-yu's heart. At the same time, she would also give her own feelings of love to Su-yu. Su Yu-chen could see that Su-yu might have some mental issues. Su-yu always put her first, always thought of her, but never cared for herself, never understood what self-love meant. She might even go to extremes for love, showing tendencies of self-harm and self-destruction. Su Yu-chen had tried to reason with her several times before, but Su-yu always thought Su Yu-chen did not love her, did not want her anymore. She would kneel and cry, begging her not to abandon her, not to break up with her. Su Yu-chen felt increasingly heartbroken. If Su-yu could not love herself, then she would love Su-yu instead. The unease in Su Yu-chen's heart gradually faded. She looked at Su-yu seriously and said, let us undo it, really. Su-yu raised her eyebrows slightly. Brother, are not you afraid? There is nothing to be afraid of. Let us undo it. Su-yu immediately took advantage of the situation and adjusted Su Yu-chen's seat into a reclining chair. There is still a long time until lunch. Brother, let us have some snacks before lunch. Half an hour later, Lu Mingfeng drove into the parking lot, his eyes scanning for the car's license plate. Finally, he spotted the familiar car. He saw Su-yu's car shaking continuously. What the two people inside the car were doing was obvious. Lu Mingfeng took a deep breath, unsure whether to leave or stay. He had no intention of interfering in his brother's private matters with his lover, but he was too anxious. He desperately wanted his brother's forgiveness and wanted to talk to him right now. By the time he snapped back to reality, Su-yu and Su Yu-chen had already gotten out of the car. Su Yu-chen was holding Su-yu's hand and was sneakily kissed by Su-yu, her face lighting up with happiness and joy. Lu Mingfeng stared intently at the blissful smile on Su Yu-chen's face. That was a smile he had never seen on his younger brother's face before. His hand, which was about to open the car door, paused lightly and then slowly lowered. Forget it, his brother was so happy. If he showed up, his brother's mood would surely sour again. Lu Mingfeng took a deep breath and watched helplessly as Pei Suyue and Su Yuchen walked hand in hand into the elevator. Sitting in the car, Lu Mingfeng suddenly remembered something and picked up his phone. It was a call from Lu Mingchen. Lu Mingchen's voice was loud and full of resentment. "Big brother, today is the day I am being discharged from the hospital. Why did not you come to pick me up? Did you forget it is my discharge day?" Lu Mingfeng replied coldly, "You can go home on your own." Hearing his brother's indifferent tone, Lu Mingchen became both angry and upset. A wave of inexplicable grievance surged in his heart. "Big brother, what is wrong with you? You have not been answering my calls these past few days, and you did not even come to visit me. What have you been so busy with all day?" Lu Mingfeng lowered his gaze, his expression cold and tired. "Work has been busy. Be more sensible and go home by yourself." Lu Mingchen grew even angrier. On the other end of the phone, the sound of a vase shattering could be heard. "Big brother, you are not the same anymore. You used to come to the hospital to see me right away. You have changed." Lu Mingchen's voice carried a hint of sobbing. He said, "Big brother, do you really not care about me anymore? You do not even care if I die in the hospital. You do not care about me at all." Lu Mianfeng's face remained cold as he sternly rebuked, "Stop being ridiculous." Lu Mingfeng realized that Lu Mingchen's unruly personality was entirely the result of his own indulgence. "Ridiculous," Lu Mingchen, with reddened eyes, continued to vent his anger and pout over the phone. "Big brother, how am I being ridiculous? I just want you to come pick me up." Seeing that Lu Mingfeng still did not respond, Lu Mingchen felt stifled and sighed. Sensing his brother's inexplicable coldness, he finally started crying for real. His big brother had never treated him like this before. Wiping away his tears, Lu Mingchen continued, "Big brother, what are you planning to do about Su Yuchen?" The moment he heard Su Yuchen's name, Lu Mingfeng gripped the steering wheel tightly, his face instantly darkening. "What do you want to do?" Lu Mingchen snorted coldly. "Su Yuchen pushed me into the water last time. He is jealous of me, hates me, and wants to harm me. I hate that Su Yuchen. What is so great about him? I want him gone from Zhang City forever. I do not want him to ever appear in front of me again." Lu Mianfeng's face grew colder and darker. "You hate him that much," Lu Mingchen replied. "Su Yuchen is disgusting. Right after leaving brother Jiyu, he somehow managed to seduce Suyue, making her willing to abandon brother Jiyu for him." Lu Mianfeng's expression became increasingly cold and grim. Lu Mingchen froze. His big brother had never called him by his full name in such a cold tone before. He shivered involuntarily, finally realizing that something was very off about Lu Mianfeng's mood today. Especially his attitude toward him, it was icy cold. "Big brother, what is wrong?" Lu Mingchen asked cautiously. Lu Mingfeng, with a stern expression, said, "From now on, I do not want to hear any bad words about Su Yuchen coming out of your mouth. Also, I won't go after Su Yuchen, and neither can you. He does not like you, so stay away from him." A series of warnings left Lu Mingchen stunned. He stared in disbelief. "Big brother, what are you saying? Why are you defending Su Yuchen? Why are you speaking up for him?" Lu Mingfeng replied coldly, "You do not need to know. In short, you are not allowed to go after him anymore." Lu Mingchen was shocked by the chill in his brother's tone. He asked incredulously, "Big brother, what kind of spell has Su Yuchen cast on you? What are you helping him with? I am the one you should be loyal to." Lu Mingfeng gently closed his eyes. He did not want to deal with Lu Mingchen anymore, so he hung up the phone, lay back in the chair, and closed his eyes to think. At the hospital, Zhao Qigan had just arrived and saw Lu Mingchen throwing a tantrum. He raised his eyebrows and said, "Who upset our little master Chen again?" Lu Mingchen angrily kicked the bed frame and gritted his teeth, saying, "Who else but Su Yuchen? I do not know what trick he used to make my brother side with him and even threatened me not to cause trouble for Su Yuchen. So that is how it is." Zhao Qigan nodded knowingly. "Maybe your brother has also fallen under Su Yuchen's spell. Don't worry, after all, you are his biological brother. If he does not care about you, who else would he care about?" "That is true," Lu Mingchen muttered. Zhao Qigan's eyes flashed with a hint of cunning. "But you should be careful. Even Susu is captivated by Su Yuchen. Your brother might be next. You must guard against Su Yuchen and take measures to eliminate the threat once and for all." Lu Mingchen looked at him and asked, "How do I eliminate the threat once and for all?" Zhao Qigan smiled slyly at Lu Mingchen. "There are many ways to completely ruin someone. Make him lose his reputation, make sure he can never recover." Lu Mingchen felt a chill under his friend's gaze. "I won't do things like killing or arson. My brother would definitely be furious." Zhao Qigan laughed. "No need for killing or arson. We can also make Su Yuchen lose his reputation. Your brother cares about you the most. No matter what mistakes you make, he won't have the heart to blame you." Zhao Qigan continued to guide him with a seemingly kind tone. "Who does Su Yuchen think he is? He is just a shameless person who uses his looks to get ahead. How can he compare to your noble status?" Lu Mingchen felt that his friend made sense. "Exactly, my brother would never care about Su Yuchen more than me." Zhao Qigan continued, Su Yuchen is easy to deal with, just like last time when we had Chen Chang cause a scene at your birthday party, accusing Su Yuchen of things. The surveillance footage from your house can be uploaded online, letting everyone know that Su Yuchen is just a social climber, a money grubber who forgets his parents and repays kindness with betrayal. And there is also the matter of him stealing your moonlight bracelet. That can be spread online too, stirring up public outrage and getting everyone to cyberbully Su Yuchen. That way, Su Yuchen will be forced to live the rest of his life with his tail between his legs. Let us see if he dares to act arrogant in front of you again. Lu Mingchen was completely captivated by his friend's suggestions. Is it doable? He suddenly remembered that the surveillance footage from Ji Yu Qingzhou's birthday party, which held the truth, was still in Pei Suyu's hands. If they dared to spread rumors, given Pei Suyu's current relationship with Su Yuchen, he would definitely help Su Yuchen. Lu Mingchen felt deflated. Don't worry, Zhao Qigan sneered. I can find someone to hack into Pei Suyu's computer and delete the truth from the surveillance footage. That way, they won't have any evidence. Lu Mingchen's eyes lit up as he looked at his friend with admiration. Zhao Qigan patted Lu Mingchen's head and continued. Nowadays, the internet is powerful enough to crush someone easily. Su Yuchen has no power or influence, and his personality is so weak. When the time comes, he won't be able to defend himself and might even end up hating himself to death. Lu Mingchen felt both excited and scared. But what if this backfires? It won't, Zhao Qigan scoffed. As long as we control enough evidence and push Su Yuchen into the spotlight, we can definitely use the public to destroy him. Use others to do the dirty work. Lu Mingchen felt even more afraid. But I just want to drive him away. Isn't this too extreme? Zhao Qigan shrugged. You and Su Yuchen are already at odds. Now that he is clinging to Su, even if you do not act against him, sooner or later he will target you. Lu Mingchen was still a bit scared but could not suppress his desire to see Su Yuchen's downfall. He raised his head and said, then how do we gather evidence? And how do we spread it online? Zhao Qigan smirked and said, don't rush. Take it slow. Listen to me. Stop using your own foolish methods, and you won't mess up. All right. Lu Mingchen nodded.